Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for putting up with the wait, but we have everything all set up for, well, Euriece's Cup. We got arenas going on. Euriece, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I wanted to see
Yeah,
you
just
playing in these, but I'm really excited to be casting these with you, man.
yeah. Since I kind of told my teammates I'm gonna cast it, so they're really I guess available for this one. But tournament more arenas tournament coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah, we got a lot more coming up, especially with so much Apex Legends action here. But for today, it is just going to be arenas. We have 10 teams already rearing to go. We have $2,500 on the line, and our first matchup is already going to be taking place very shortly. Well, we will be, of course, playing on arenas. It's going to be best of ones throughout the single elimination bracket until we get to the grand finals, where it will be a best of three. We have fan phases, everything. That's all going on. But for our first map, it is going to be on Phase Runner. So this is going to be exciting. Have you been keeping up much with arenas and how people have been playing? Because I haven't. I haven't had the time to play that many arenas.
Yeah, I've been playing here and there with solos. Kind of testing how it plays out in the higher level, and it definitely gets sweaty. Once you get up there and you keep winning, there's gonna be three stacks playing together, like with strat, healing, and whatnot. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it's gonna play out with pro.
Yeah.
Um,
Looks like we're heading straight into map number one right now, and this is, of course, going to be on Phase Runner. We got a Jibby, Lifeline, and Pathfinder, and that Lifeline passive can be incredibly strong in these trios.
I completely agree. If you get a good timing on that res, you can cover it pretty well. You can get your teammate up pretty easily.
Looks like we do have the first engage. All right, just clearing some things up with our production real quickly here.
Yeah.
As right now, we should be able to get everything up. But yeah, the first matchup of the day, of course, it is going to be SXD versus Blight's team. But here we go, heading into round number two.
So yeah, this is one of the best thing with Pathfinder in this map is being able to grapple in early for that for those meds in the middle, which is really important for these long-term fights if you're trying to outlast the enemy.
Yeah, you get 2 charges of the grapple just for free there, and so that mobility can be incredibly strong for our teams. You can always, of course, buy some more if you want to, but as we continue out throughout this round right now, let's see. All right, here we go. SXD going for the white swing. Darken on the right-hand side with the Zanaya and Dadyama actually coming in from the left. They got the first knock. It's traded back by Renegade. We'll see if we can get another one here, but it's down to the 2v2 as he finishes him off with that Mozambique. That res getting popped now. I'm able to get him back up, and that's going to be round number 2 going their way.
What I'm also interested to see, what kind of weapons these teams will use consistently. And Wingman is definitely up there with the damage and the ammo conservation with these peaks. I guess Wingman is really rewarding.
Yeah, it's got Wingman Volt for Darken here, and I like that. You just go in, you can poke away with the Wingman, and then, of course, follow right up with that grapple, the Volt. He does have one upgrade on the Wingman, so that gives you the extra shot. And here's that first sling coming in from Darken here, trying to take control over mid. Ooh, he gets cracked, and he's going to need those meds, that armor, as the Arc Star is thrown out from the other side as well as Naya. Using that head glitch, will go ahead and rejoin his squad. He does have, of course, one charge of that Doc heal drone now, but they're starting to creep up here, taking control back over that bin, hitting for the 18 on that purple armor, backs away, forcing out a lot of the arc stars, and now Darkin with another flank here. We do have Beast the Hunt can pop on the other side now, but Darkin might go down. He does not trade back for it, and so Blight picks that one up. It's down to the 2v3 here.
That's one of the worst things that can happen if you get caught out as a solo swinging, especially you don't have the necessary escape. And here we have Bloodhound pushing in, 2 domes going down, and he's just trying to hold with the Mozambique. Not going to be enough. 3 pushes in and just kills all of them.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2-1 still in favor, I believe, of the other side here. But here's GBX, Blight, Renegade, and Frapper now looking to bring things back. As we've got the Wingman Eva 8 for Frapper, I believe. Don't know what Blight has quite yet. Charge Rifle Mozambique.
Charge rifle.
Oh boy.
That's interesting. Oh, okay. Charge Rifle R99.
Okay, I like the idea of this because they can split it, right? Because there's another bin on the other side if you go through the phase runner. So you can take that and use the long range weapons to try and poke away at them and really use that to the advantage. And that's exactly what they're going to do because they've got this spawn. They'll just go ahead and take control of this bin over here. But it looks like both sides decide to actually pop through that portal this time around. So will be a fight over this bin. Now we'll see if Blight wants to try and find a flank on this one. Renegade will have another Eye of the Allfather coming up in 15 seconds, which should be crucial here in this kind of close fight. Blight's got to be careful. His armor's already been cracked now, and you can see the flank coming in from the right-hand side. Arcstar out forces Blight to use that grapple back. The bubble's been used as well from Frapper. Bubble on the other side now. They try to push forward. Frapper playing around the edges here with the charge rifle. Definitely not what you want. He will fall. Zanaya picks that one up. Down to the 3v2, 3v1. Blight was able to heal up, but it's not going to be enough. SXD will take the win.
Yeah, I think one of the
Yeah, so what were you saying?
Oh yeah, so I was saying like one of the thing with Arena is your gun of choice will impact your how your game will play out a lot. And as you saw there, we have the Gibby with the charge rifle. Dome fighting not really ideal, especially if you're getting pushed by Eva 8s and you're just trying to do 9 damage with a charge rifle up close. And yeah, I think choosing your weapon is definitely one of the key here as well in arenas.
Yeah, bubble fighting. I mean, as soon as someone hears that charge going off, they just go right back into the bubble. They dodge out on that huge 45 burst at the tail end of it. And so, I was really surprised by it. If the other team, if SXD had pushed out to the other side like they had been doing, I understand that. That makes sense. You can try and charge rifle from a distance, play off the timer on the ring. But it did not work out for them in that regard. And so Jibby X will be knocked out. SXD will be moving on to take on Space Station Gaming in round number 2. But we have one more game here in round number 1. It's going to be X set versus 2 brains, 1 controller. And we'll be getting that set up very shortly. And let's also talk about what's on the line today, Euriece.
There's going to be $2,500 on the line for the winning team. Excited how sweaty and how hard these teams are gonna play it out, and I'm really excited to see like the strats coming in, how they're gonna coordinate each other with attacks and like defending each other.
Like as a day one path main, I'm just really happy that we're already seeing a lot of Pathfinder. Makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
Mobility legends, especially here, can be incredibly strong to play as that entry fragger kind of role. Can be so strong on these maps so far. We're seeing, of course, the Gibraltars having that bubble is incredibly strong as well. But we saw a little bit of deviance there, right? One side playing the Lifeline and the other playing the Bloodhound. Which would you rather have in these arenas?
I think both can definitely work depending on what gameplay you're trying to do or you're trying to cooperate. Because Lifeline definitely having a Lifeline with her passive and being able to play around that if your teammate gets knocked and with a gold backpack, it's definitely huge, especially if you get pushed and you manage to get that gold backpack res, your teammates are going to be surprised with another teammate coming in. But also with the Bloodhound, having that info with the scan, knowing where to play around, so you know kind of how to take that advantage, is also a key on taking that champion. So I think both really works. It just depends on how the team would incorporate that.
Yeah, I mean, one's a bit more reactionary, one's a bit more proactive, right? With the Bloodhound, you're able to kind of decide what you want to do. If you want to take advantage of Lifeline's passive, well, one of your teammates has to go down, and so you're already playing from behind. But it's really cool to see this kind of development. I'm really excited, especially with ranked arenas coming out right now. We are getting game number 2 set up. Game number 1 ended really quickly here, and so we might have a short day. It is going to be X set versus 2 brains, 1 controller. Like Euriece said, we have $2,500 on the line. $1,500 going to first place, $750 going to second place, and for third place is going to be $250. And with not too many competitions going on right now, with ALGS kind of on the break for the time being, I feel like these players are going to go ahead and sweat this one out, because what other money is there to play for right now? All right. Also want to
Ops1X here. This video is sponsored by Esports Tower. Esports Tower is a community helping serious players level up their game on a week-by-week basis through combining coaching, best practice tutorials, and industry networking. Joining a club, you will be paired with teammates of similar skill and receive a team coach. Your team will practice twice a week to prepare for weekly competitive events like this one. Joining an Esports Tower Club team, you'll practice the mechanical skill sets that are required to compete at a professional level. Your coach will help you discover the mistakes you make through VOD reviews and will teach you the foundations of teamwork, communication, and leadership. To top it all off, you will have the opportunity to network with esports pros, general managers, and collegiate esports coaches and recruiters. Speaking from experience, investing in a program that can expedite your path to pro is extremely valuable. Esports Tower also has exclusive events and organized tournaments for scholarship opportunities. Go to esportstower.com/Fortnite for a free 2-week trial on me.
Can you feel that?
His and Hers Live.
And we are the newest members of KNG.
All right, so I've been gaming my whole life, and Judy was not into games, so I was always trying to figure out a way to get her into games.
I didn't even know what Twitch was a little over 2 years ago, so it kind of started in a unique way. My first video game was right when Apex came out, and we started streaming as a way of, hey, let's record this progress. It'll be really fun to watch.
There you have it. Huge shout out to His and Hers. But here we go. Heading into game number 2. We're going to be over here in Gardens on Olympus for game number 2. This is going to be between X-Set and 2 Brains, 1 Controller. And we're seeing a huge, diverse kind of roster in terms of Legends picks so far. X-Set running the Watson. So she gets the 5 charges of her security nodes, which I guess could be useful, but you're really playing for maybe the ring closing down. So we might have some really slow games so far. They're going to go ahead and elect to drop down to the low to play a little bit more controlled style, which is what you want to do with Rambo on this Watson. I don't know if this is an actual pick.
Yeah, I feel like Watson is a bit iffy, especially on this map. Well, I guess this map kind of works out well. There's a few places where she can lock down with her Q, and as we can see, Xset Kenny pushing in with the wingman. That's gonna be a Wraith, gonna be split. It's gonna be Mercy. He's gonna be going back with that Wraith phase. He's gonna be using his only charge for the first round.
And so Zeratricky, I believe, was also on that Watson as well. So mirrored compositions from either sides, and it's going to be very slow. Waiting for round number 2 to start closing up. Now these rounds do close very quickly here, and it's going to be Xset that have to run into this circle behind those fences. We do have that Wraith Q in to try and set up an angle at the very least for them. Kenny is all out of charges on the Pathfinder Zip as well, so they've used up a lot of their utility here. Klein now with the left-hand flank finds himself in the middle of this by himself. Rambo needs to rejoin as he's trying to find a way on in, but that might set up Klein to be just by himself. But good flank, Rambo hits, but he gets cracked himself and he has to back away.
Have big shots coming in. As we can see, the zone is going to be coming, and they're going to be running out in the open, and Zeratricky's team is going to have height, but good cover with the wingman. And they're going to be able to... Oh, Kenny actually goes down with Zeratricky with the flatline. Klein knocking tech with the wingman. Rambo and Klein here fighting very fiercely. It's going to be another big shots coming in with Klein. They're going to be winning that 3v3. Klein clutching up with that wingman.
That was beautiful. Klein just kind of anchors himself right there in the center of the circle. And you get the flank or the left-hand push out from Rambo and Kenny, drawing all that attention away. They trade away, and then Klein just hits all the big headies with that wingman. Love to see the wingman really coming back into favor with a lot of our players here. I mean, you know, Season 1 Apex, it was the gun, and it was the gun for the longest time. Got nerfed down to the ground for a bit, but it's back, and we can see why.
Yep, and I do think in arenas, wingman is definitely going to be used a lot more, since it's really good with trading and how the meds are kind of tight with the system and how the system works.
Now, we did have the Pathfinder buying that zip line and is able to get that first pill for his squad, picks up all of that, and Rambo checking on the left-hand side. There is one. He might have heard him jumping on the other side of the fence, so he just backs away here, wants to, you know, have some distance between them for now, as Xset are all set up in this building. This is Gardens with so much cover, so many buildings to play off of. These rounds should be going the distance. We saw it go over to like round number 3 in the first game here. We do have that drop coming in. We'll see if any team plays off of it.
Enemy spotted.
Yeah, so with how that zipline play is going to play out, and also how the zone kind of works, and I think it's really worth it trying to get that early rotation, especially with the bin, getting those early meds and getting that position is really big.
Yeah, Kenny just here up on the roof as Klein does top himself off for now. We do have one person from 2 Brains, 1 controller just below them as well, has been pinged out from the squad. Kenny is just keeping an eye on the flanks here, making sure that they do not get wrapped around. See, the buildings, of course, still in for the next zone as well. They spot out one. They try to collapse onto him. Good damage out from Rambo as he hits for about 50 there, keeps him down, but it looks like he was able to back away. Kenny keeping an eye on that for now, but there we go, chasing after him now, forcing out that Wraith Q, as Rambo does need to heal up here.
As we can see, all of Zeratricky's team's member, they're going to be kind of out of the zone. And as we can see, the zone is coming in. We have Kenny on height with the wingman, suppressing them, literally covering almost the entirety of the map. They're not going to be in. They're going to be forced in that low ground, running out in the open. Are they going to survive this push? We have Rambo on this angle. Actually, Rambo knocking tech, big vault spray, and they just absolutely dominate that round.
They picked them apart, and it looked very similar to round number 1, except it was reversed, but it was still a very controlled style coming out from Xset. They had all the information, knew where everyone was. They were able to force out that Q from the Wraith and then just focus down another target. Excellent control coming out from Xset now, who do have the 2-0 lead, about to take the win here in round number 1 and move on to round number 2.
Yeah, so I guess people are gonna be more gonna be doing that early gameplay, and they didn't do that this round. They're gonna be just running it out, and they're actually still going to be first, I think. It's just we have Zeratricky's team, all zipping on top. They're gonna be low ground here. They're gonna be stuck underneath. I feel like a reverse situation from last round, from what it seems.
This one's a little bit awkward, right? Playing very close together now, splitting up buildings. This can still slow down a bit. Clayton's got to be careful. Being the one to go for the peak here might actually go for the climb up, and he does go for it. All three members are there. No one hits him, as Kenny was the one that took most of the damage, but he'll be able to back off. Except were the ones that were able to pick up that bin, so they'll have extra meds to play off of for now. Clayton going for another peek. Does not hit. Now he's going to back away to the rest of his squad. Rambo gets cracked this time around, but they do have that Watson gen set up, so they can go for the natty heals here, and so they can play this one out and really utilize their economy. We don't know. It doesn't look like there's an interception pylon on the other side as Kenny goes for another peek from a different angle here. Hits big, and man, these wingman shots are on point today.
As we can see here, Zeratricky's team, even though having height, they're getting picked apart with those wingman shots, getting cracked 2 members with those wingman headshots. And as we can see here, Clayton with the off angle on the other building, taking height. And I'm surprised with these peaks. They're not getting punished for it. They're managing to get these free peaks. And here we have Clayton, big wingman shots again with that tight angle. You could barely see Pathfinder's head.
I don't know how he was able to spot that one out, but this is just a war of attrition for Xset right now, who have that interception pylon set up, who were able to take control over the supply bin and get the meds early on. So the trades just always will work in their favor. They're eventually just going to whittle away at whatever 2 brains 1 controller have. Nice jump shot out from Clayton, hitting for the 45. And they're going to be running out of armor soon. You can see Kenny still has 3 bats to his name. You can hand those around. Rambo has 1 more bat as well. And so as this continues on, they're just going to win this out slowly and surely. I think they hit for flesh right there, and they have plenty of heals to continue to go for these trades. Eventually, someone's going to go down.
Yeah, like even if Zeratricky's team having a height here won't matter as much, since once they drop down from that height, they're not going to have those meds to actually fight it out, or not. They're not even going to be full health. And here we have Pathfinder getting caught out by Rambo's vault. You do not want to be in this range with Rambo. Tech goes down, and I think that's going to be Zeratricky's team going down. Zeratricky managing to get knock one, not going to be enough. Xset takes the championship.
Yeah, they take the 3-0, and they made it look methodical. Every last step, every round was thought out extremely well, snowballed off the back of it really well. Their control over, I think, the med kits and the supply bins was probably one of the most important factors here throughout all 3 rounds, but also just the shot calling coming out, it was beautiful to see.
Yeah, so those matches were incredible. Like it definitely looked like they were just steamrolling and just rolling that lobby. And it didn't even seem like they were fighting against a pro team. No offense to Tag, but they were the cooperation, managing to control those situation. Even if they had low ground, the enemy had height, they still managed to get out of that situation.
Yeah, and so if you guys want a chance at actually playing inside these tournaments yourselves, you have the opportunity. Just type in exclamation qualifier or exclamation QUAL, exclamation mark qual, and that'll give you all the information you need to actually sign up for the qualifiers. We have another $2,500 tournament going on next week, which you can compete in as if you make it through the qualifier. So go ahead and sign up for that. So we're going to take a short break, and when we get back, we'll have round number 2 of Euriece's Cup right after this.
Ops1X here. This video is sponsored by Esports Tower. Esports Tower is a community helping serious players level up their game on a week-by-week basis through combining coaching, best practice tutorials, and industry networking. Joining a club, you will be paired with teammates of similar skill and receive a team coach. Your team will practice twice a week to prepare for weekly competitive events like this one. Joining an Esports Tower Club team, you'll practice the mechanical skill sets that are required to compete at a professional level. Your coach will help you discover the mistakes you make through VOD reviews and will teach you the foundations of teamwork, communication, and leadership. To top it all off, you will have the opportunity to network with esports pros, general managers, and collegiate esports coaches and recruiters. Speaking from experience, investing in a program that can expedite your path to pro is extremely valuable. Esports Tower also has exclusive events and organized tournaments for scholarship opportunities. Go to esportstower.com/Fortnite for a free 2-week trial on me.
Hello, I'm Rajneesh Khanna from iCultiware and Chopra Foundation. As you all know, mental health has been brought up a lot recently and proven to be at the forefront of our conversations. As we begin to understand how comprehensive it is, we should open up a conversation that mental health is not one size fits all. We all need help or just someone to talk to from time to time. Some options and resources that are worth checking out are just a click away. To see what resources might be the most helpful to you, click the link below.
Oh, he knows.
They're going to be able to take out the Gibraltar there. Dude's night out. They managed to win our second game.
With the melee kill, taking game number 2, Dude's night out. And it's going to be another kind of West zone. Looks like it's going to maybe focus in on Fragment West and Fragment East this game.
Got some fighting going on over in the West, though. I'm curious to see who ends up going down in this battle. Be keeping my eye on the kill feed for sure as we pan over to Harvester. Take a look at X set, the winners of Game 1. That's exactly what can garner as well, poking their heads in. Have the tossing of their own to lay down some of that damage. First knock might go down at any second, though. The damage still ticking on this Revenant. Not going to quite end up being enough, though. Somebody, please, finally get the kill.
Underrated.
And it is underrated. Holy moly.
Yes, underrated is taken out in 20th place again in game number 2. Wow, Vayne on 1 HP, but they seem to... Yeah, they seem to clutch it for the second time in a row, and I wonder if this is going to push Underrated to a different drop spot next game.
Actually might be in a little bit of trouble because they've got MSP closing in on them from behind, but I don't know if they know it yet.
Down with the gold shield.
How on earth? Something shot out of the sky out of Geyser here. Actually puts the team in a little bit of a tough spot. The Bocek is really doing work right now, though, for Matey. After losing their member, getting thirsted even. It's going to be difficult to res, let alone stay alive in the story on 33. Up just yet. The thing is, they are outside of zone, right? So somebody's going to have to rotate first, and if Matey keeps landing these bow shots, it's not going to be Congarna EU. They are very, very happy right now. I don't really know that they're coming as the Knights hanging out under here seems to be...
I believe Northern Forces is fighting Team Knights here in the bottom of this this bowl here. And it looks like they're being pushed by the Dogfathers, another Revenant Octane team.
All right, welcome back, guys. We are heading straight into round number 2. This is going to be Lazarus versus Aqualix. And so we've got Hundreds, Oi Senpai, and G7 Dank versus Nasky, Dell, and Yuki on the other side here on Thermal Station.
So we actually see here Yuki with the Gibby wingman. Yuki is definitely one of those players who's one of the most consistent with the wingman. And seeing him in the arena is definitely going to be scary with that wingman.
I'd like to have seen him on the Pathfinder or someone with mobility, but you know, as an anchor, especially someone who can just dish out damage, definitely strong there. They do have the drop coming down. The bubble's going to be used for that, but can they retrieve it? It looks like Nasky is there, and someone's going to try to contest, but it will be Aqualix that picks that one up, and they'll back away off to the Rotunda building, and they'll be able to just reset for now. I wonder what he got off of that drop.
As we can see in this situation, the zone's actually pulling away from them, and they're not going to have a bubble. And I'm kind of iffy about this donut push, they're going to be in a very tight situation since the other team can just wait them out and they're not going to have any cover going in that zone.
You can see Lazarus on the other side. They're utilizing the bins for the extra cover here, trying to keep them pinned down. Things should slow down here. Yuki will just try to get some pokes off with the arm shield, and that wingman does still have about 40 shots remaining total for that. Got shot up from the right-hand side. His arm shield hasn't been broken yet. We'll want to recharge that for now, but he goes for the re-peek. It's just been trading away damage. Nasky has been cracked for some time now, and they did not elect to buy any heals for this one. The first push comes out. Nasky goes down. It's going to be Dank to pick that one up. Here's the 2-for-1 drop on the bottom. The Mozambique comes out, and it looks like they will be able to clutch this one up, taking that one.
Oh wait, no, I think it switched to.
Oh yeah, it switched to Lazarus.
Yeah. I also thought, wait.
Debated. But yeah, we're heading off into into round number 2 of this one so far, and we do have a difference in styles. While we do have, of course, the Octane and the Pathfinder for either side, Lazarus are electing to run that Bloodhound. And so with all of these different corners that you can peek out from here on Thermal Station, I think you're going to get a lot of value off of it. And with how close these fights can be, if you can scan one out, isolate one, and then instantly turn, it can be incredibly strong. Does have one more scan left here for Dank.
Yeah, so I think Thermal Station is definitely all about being able to keep that damage coming in as minimal as possible, and being able to control that zone is going to be key into winning out this map.
A lot of nades coming out, forcing Yuki back. They got the crack onto him as well, forcing out that bubble. But here's Dank just pushing up. It's going to be a 2-for-1, but Yuki does take one down with him. Let's see if we can trade one more here, but it looks like Lazarus are starting to crumble. Hundreds with 50 HP will fall, and we're tied up now 1-1.
So yeah, as we can actually saw there, as we can actually see there, Yuki dropping that bubble, and those instant team grappling in as they know that he's going to be pushed with that crack with the Arc Star.
Yeah, but ultimately, though, it looks like they kind of had trouble just regaining their composure, finding the next target, focusing him down, as it was just trades back and forth. But here we go. Heading into round number 3, we're tied up 1-1 here. Remember, this is, of course, single elimination until we get to the grand finals. Lazarus now pushing on the right-hand side. Decent spray from range with that R301. Here comes the first Arc Star out from Dank, who's setting up that left-hand flank. Yuki caught out once again. Almost got cracked there, but he's able to back away safely. Surprised that he got away with hundreds here on the right-hand side, but they're going for that peak once again. Lazarus have been doing a good job of controlling a lot of the objectives on the map, being able to secure these bins along with the extra credits here, but this time around it's going to be a fight for this bin on the right side.
Yeah, so one of the thing I haven't seen a lot is utilizing that money for those next rounds game, and I don't see these teams playing around them, especially the bins as well. So you can see Acolyx actually just playing back for damage. You can see Nasky going all the way to the left. I think he's going to grab those money on the left side.
You get the drop over here for Lazarus too, which is going to be incredibly strong now, and it's going to be Oi Senpai to pick all of that one up. As Dank is just watching the left-hand side, it looks like Yuki was able to try and push. They back away once again. Lazarus trying to keep their eyes on them. We do have the ring pulling over towards this side now. Neither squad really a huge advantage in terms of positioning, but now Lazarus taking over this bin, forcing back a qual. It's basically into the same situation we had in round number 1.
Yeah, as we can see, the zone is going to come in. Acolyx is in a really tight spot here. I think... Oh, Oi Senpai nearly gets caught out. He nearly goes down, and that would have been really bad, especially for his team holding out the zone. See the hundreds getting cracked here. Oi Senpai really low, not going to be able to pop a med. We can see the zone coming in. Acolyx pushing out on the left side, putting a lot of pressure.
Oh, we have Dank, the first one to go down. Hundreds was just too busy looting here. And Aqualix now with the 3v1 will be able to hunt him down. Now they take the lead 2-1 versus Team Lazarus as we head into round number 4.
Yeah, so as you can actually see there, Aqualix, even if they had the really bad spot, we can see them tearing the other team apart slowly with poke damage, and as you can see, it's Lazarus falling for that and managed to get pushed. Even
Yeah, it was some really great timing coming out from Aqualix. Their peaks. It seemed like every time they peaked was when Lazarus was trying to back away or something, or on the run, just caught out. And so now we have the first grapple on in, but this is super aggressive coming out now as Lazarus into some close quarters combat here, but they will be able to back away for now. Hundreds almost getting cracked there. Oi Senpai down to almost white health here as Aqualix haven't taken any damage on the other side. This is starting to swing out of control for the Lazarus side now. As Aqualix, they'll have control over this drop. They got the first knock, Hundreds to go down. They haven't thirsted him quite yet, so maybe they'll be able to secure the res here, but no, actually, he's stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Aqualix know this, and they will continue to push up. Nasky has been cracked. He'll be able to back away as Dell gets that next knock onto Dank. They do trade back, but it's still a 2v1, and Aqualix will take the 3-1 win.
Yeah, I think we saw their Hundreds getting caught out by Nasky, and he actually just got one clipped trying to maybe get an off angle. We didn't really see what happened to him, but yeah, getting that first knock, especially in that situation when he's really far from his team, can't really get a reset. I think it's one of those situations where it's just a real disadvantage 3v2.
Yeah. So that's Lazarus getting knocked out. They'll be moving on to the semifinals to face off against the winner of either G2 versus Xset, which will be another one of our round 2 matches. We have 3 more games here in round number 2, but we're going to go ahead and take a short break. And when we get back, we'll have another game set up for you guys right after this.
Closing in on their final kill. They play this slow. They play it
Oh,
safe
he
now.
knows.
They're going to be able to take out the Gibraltar there. Dude's night out. They managed to win our second game.
With the melee kill, taking game number 2, Dude's night out. And it's going to be another kind of West zone. Looks like it's going to maybe focus in on Fragment West and Fragment East this game.
Got some fighting going on over in the West, though. I'm curious to see who ends up going down as that. I'll be keeping my eye on the kill feed for sure as we pan over to Harvester. Take a look at Xset, the winners of Game 1. That's exactly what Congarner is doing as well, poking their heads in. Have copies of their own to lay down some of that damage. First knock might go down at any second, though, as the damage is ticking on this Revenant. Not going to quite end up being enough, though. Somebody, please, finally get the kill.
Underrated.
And it is underrated. Holy moly.
Yes, underrated is taken out in 20th place again in game number 2. Wow, Vayne on 1 HP, but they seem to... Yeah, they seem to clutch it for the second time in a row, and I wonder if this is going to push Underrated to a different drop spot next game.
Actually might be in a little bit of trouble because they've got MSP closing in on them from behind, but I don't know if they know it yet.
Down with the gold shield.
How on earth? Sudden shot out of the sky, out of the geyser. It actually puts the team in a little bit of a tough spot. The Bocek is really doing work right now, though, for Mady. After losing their member, getting thirsted even, it's going to be difficult to res, let alone stay alive in the story on 33. Up just yet. The thing is, they are outside of zone, right? So somebody's going to have to rotate first, and if Mady keeps landing these bow shots, it's not going to be Congarna EU. They are very, very happy right now. They know that they're coming as the Knights hanging out under here seem to be...
I believe Northern Forces is fighting Team Knights here in the bottom of this this bowl here. And it looks like they're being pushed by the Dodgefathers, another Revenant Octane team.
And they've got plenty of room to work with as well. Dodgefathers might have actually third-partied this at the perfect time. They don't know that the Knights are coming up as well, who certainly want involvement in these kills. The Sura and Bronzy making their way in. Mercy's gonna bring up the rear, grab himself a fresh shield, and take control of the sorting factory.
It looks like Kovsky's team, they want this building. They're going to be pushing with a caustic.
Yeah, this is so rough, actually. Kovsky and friends are definitely feeling the hurt right now with one knock in the building, though. The Qualix might go down. Still a lot of gas going out, but that's going to be the cleanup there. And Steve Kovsky do get knocked out, surprisingly.
Apocalypse is lucky. They did get one of them knocked in there, and it looks like they're actually getting pushed.
It doesn't feel lucky. It really
Not at all.
I know. As soon as we take a breath here, they're already being pushed by 2 brains, 1 controller, who end up popping out to claim the truck here, get themselves a little bit of safety reset, because I think they smell a 3rd and even a 4th party incoming off of them. It's very hard to push because you open yourself up to so much fire from other squads in the area that you kind of just have to play defense as the squad that is in the truck, not die, and eventually somebody else will take care of your enemies for you. A little bit less than the squad.
Oh, and they were actually camping Northern Forces totem here, and they were able to take out Northern Mask, I believe.
Yeah, that's 1 member down for sure, and not to keep an eye on that totem. Certainly everybody else is going, oh, whoa, we can't die now. We can't go back to that because guys are waiting for us still, though. Nice maybe chewing through you as Bronzy looks to finish off a kill right now. Does end up getting that one, so yet another kill on the board for Knights. They might be making their big comeback this game. Fortunately, these kills, because, I mean,
it was their totem, right?
Exactly, it's their totem. Qualix, unfortunately, have knocked out, in the meantime, our favorites.
Oh my
favorites.
gosh.
This Team Girl, once again, going down here, but did manage to secure themselves some placement points this time, as falling in 13th place will at least get you that singular point, and I'm sure they got a kill to go with it, right?
Right, they got some kills and a lot of loot here. Oh my gosh, they have a loot on King Garnet and Girls team. Going to push, and Alpine Hill doing so much damage on a 2 brains 1 controller, trying to take advantage, trying to get some kills here.
Oh,
Alpine, no!
Hill!
Wow.
Grenade, no less.
And 2 brains 1 controller getting a vertical nade onto Hill Alpine, taking them out. So that might be very hard for them, especially since they have to get uphill here.
Like what Qualix is doing right now, they're setting themselves up for success at the moment. Have those barrels coming constantly out of Yuki with the gold helmet as well for a little bit of lessened cooldown there.
Looking to take over this fight here.
Yeah, they're actually just going to sort of drive by this one too, throwing in the damage with the Valkyrie here, dropping the bubble as well for a very short reset. It's actually super important for them, and this might actually be the final circle if these pushes are aggressive enough. Qualix are under fire. Dudes Night Out want this win, and they're getting the full support of every member of the squad right now, along with the caustic gas, to get themselves a nice position here at the top. They are the ones that remain kings of the hill as they knock out yet another squad, and the kill leader title belongs to Duke. Now looking over at Legit Lolly, just these 2 squads left in the lobby. Who is going to come out on top? Team Pringles or Dude's Night Out? I think it's just Legit Lolly over there.
I think it is.
All right, welcome back everybody to Euriece's Cup here as we are getting ready for our next game. It should be G2 versus X set, and we'll have that set up shortly right now, as it looks like Euriece does have a visitor. And so I'll take the lead right now, you deal with that, but it looks like we are going to be on Phase Runner. G2 are running the Octane Bloodhound along with oh my goodness, Designful, Clean.
Oh
Just taken
my.
out now. I didn't even get to see
I
that.
didn't even see what just happened.
He just got melted here. You got to be careful when you're sitting on the blues. The instant thirst out onto Clay, and now G2 have the 3-2 advantage.
Yeah, actually, G2 is probably one of the most dominating team here in arenas, and we all know why. Not because they're good players. They have really insane positioning, and I think they've been grinding out arenas a lot lately. So, yeah, how they're gonna play this out.
Yeah, they got them cornered right now, stuck on the stairwell here. The beautiful crossfire being set up as well, with full control over that drop. And this is one of those points where I'm just like, maybe just back away, collect all the replicator stuff, the credits, and just snowball off of this one if they even need it now. They get the next kill onto Rambo. Kenny does trade back, but it's still a 2v1. the bubble goes down. That's going to be G2 taking round number 1 here on Phase Runner.
Yeah, as we can see there, Kenny actually went down straight away. I think he was going for that bin, and we didn't really see what happened, but he instantly got knocked. And having that instant knock coming in from G2, they're not going to be able to manage to survive and 3v2 that, since they were really playing it safe, playing it together. They're not taking any chances. G2 is not going to be taking any chances here.
Yeah, here we go. Round number 2 now. They're going to go ahead and use that Pathfinder zip line to take control over mid for this next zone. It does look like it's a little bit short, but they will be here on top of that. Already getting challenged, though, off the rip, but it looks like the other side. Excuse me, we were with Xset. G2 were the ones that were able to actually get that bin. So pretty strong now. They'll have the utility advantage. They'll have the heals as well, as Kenny's already been cracked on the right-hand side.
Yeah, as you can see here, everyone's just playing off angles. We have Rambo on the Gibby, different composition from what we saw in Gardens.
Yeah, with the more open nature of this map, without having the extra buildings and stuff, you know, that Watson doesn't really make sense here. We haven't seen the lifeline, which I think our first map of the day was here on Phase Run, and we saw a lifeline, but oh my goodness, Rambo gets taken out. Designful, the one to do that now, is Klein and Kenny now left in a 2v3. Bubble's already been used as well, and they're not going to be able to get that fast res as well. Now, Kenny coming in for the left-hand side, and they're just playing off the ones right now, but Kenny's just not able to connect. There we go. Finally gets the knock onto Design. We'll bring this down to a 2v2, but Xset are just all out of heals here. Zone is closing in, applying a little bit of pressure onto G2 now, and they'll see if they can get this thirst at the very least. Klein keeping that angle held. The time being, Designful still bleeding out. Verhulst was considering going for that res, but he does get finished off by Klein now. So down to a 3v2. Excuse me, the 2v2. Xset now with an opportunity to try and tie things up 1-1.
Yeah, they actually managed to get a trade in, making it 2v2 instead of a 3v2. And as you can see here, big shots coming in with these wingman. Klein's gonna go down, and they're gonna sweep that second round, taking in round 2. Just blazing through these arena games.
Yeah, it was a slow burn there in round number 2 to try and finish things off. It was a little bit scary for G2, but of course they were the ones that were able to control the bins. They were the ones that got the extra heals, so they can play off the trades at that point and try to get rid of any kind of healing on the other side right now. We'll see. Will G2 be able to secure themselves a 3-0 up against Xset, who, remember, when we were on Gardens, they looked immaculate. Their control, their playstyle was just absolutely so crisp and clean, but this time around, G2's absolute fragging power seems to be a bit too much for them.
Yeah, they're actually getting picked apart with these trades. They're losing pretty much all the trades with G2. As you can see, almost actually all the rounds, the first knock's been on Xset. We have Designful here with the bush on that. Trading so much damage as a Gibby. I don't think he even got knocked. Klein gets caught out, gets knocked. It's gonna be Kenny and Rambo alone. Kenny don't even have much health. It's gonna be 3v2, and it seems like G2 is gonna be pushing through again. They're gonna be rolling in this last round. Seems like they're gonna be taking that 3-0 championship.
Oh, Rambo does trade back in the end, but yeah, G2 get the clean sweep there. And honestly, after the performance that Xset had in round number 1, I was not expecting this kind of performance out from G2. Just a 3-0. Xset can get completely wiped out, and G2 didn't even have their full roster coming in for this one.
Yeah, that's kind of scary looking at G2 just doing from what we saw in Xset they did with Gardens, and they just rolled that map.
Yeah, and so G2 will be moving on. They're the ones that will be taking on the winners from our last map, which was Qualix. So that one's going to be fun. G2 versus Qualix in the semifinals. Now we have 2 more quarterfinal matches to go. We've got SSG that will be taking on SXD, and then we have our first appearance of Farm Boys versus Team Pringles, which will be taking place shortly here. We're getting the next matches set up for now. If you guys want to compete, though, here in the BFC arenas and all the BFC games, every week we have $2,500 on the line every Saturday. So just type in !qual, and that'll lead you to how to qualify for these. If you frag out, you have your chance to win the lion's share of $2,500. Remember, today, first place is walking away with $1,500. Second place is walking away with $750, and then third place with $250. So not bad for a day of Apex, honestly, if you're just having fun bragging out with some friends. So make sure you guys sign up for all the BFC tournaments that are coming up. You'll have chances to, of course, compete against some of your favorite pro players and the like. And we should have a lot more of these arenas. I'm having a lot of fun casting these arena games, Euriece.
Yeah, I'm really I'm hyped to see these pro players with a 3v3 sweating, no third parties, just straight up 3v3 battle of you know, the strats and just pure aim. And I'm really excited to cast this one as well.
Yeah, that's the best part, right? No third parties whatsoever. But speaking of third parties, we've got to, of course, shout out our partners, all of the companies that make this possible. Check them out. !neveralone. It's an organization that spreads mental health awareness, which is super important. And there are resources in the chat to help you. So just remember, you're never alone. There's always help. And so shout out to them. Shout out to Shaka as well, a clothing line based in LA. As you saw in the commercials, they're partnered with Congarna. Check out the new Congarna ALGS jersey collab. Use BFC20 for 20% off. And our final sponsor is going to be Esports Tower, !Tower. Check them out. You know, they give education opportunities to gamers, such as scholarships to attend their universities and really connect them with other routes to try and succeed in collegiate esports and esports in general. So sign up on their website to qualify and play in the BFC, like we said. So just check that all out. So !qual, !Tower, !Shaka, !neveralone. All these amazing people help us do what we're doing today. And of course, shout out to you, Euriece, for of course hosting this on your channel. I've been checking out the chat. I knew you had a huge like Japanese like viewer base, but I didn't realize how big it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of surreal just watching it. You don't kind of see it until you like look back and be like, that's a lot of like that's crazy.
Like I know like two phrases in Japanese. I think it was Nihonjin desu ka? Are you Japanese?
Yeah.
It's cool to see because like you know, Japan as a whole, like they destroy in terms of streaming this game. You know, if you take a look at a lot of the top streamers, you know, like Shaka, everyone who are Stylish Noob, who've been grinding out this game for the last 2 years. So I'm super hyped to see, of course, the huge Japanese presence here in Apex Legends. It looks like we do have word game. Our next game will be starting soon. So super excited for that. Right now, we are still in our our quarterfinals. Then we have our semifinals to go, and then our grand finals. That's when we'll finally have a best of 3 to really test out our teams and their depth of basically their map knowledge. I mean, we're seeing the meta really being displayed here across the maps.
Yeah, I think these teams have different legends for different maps. We saw Gardens, Watson was played in 2 teams. On Thermal, it's a bit more Gibby, a Bloodhound, and also the same with Phase Runner. And to see Mirage Voyage, a map we have not seen today yet. So I'm excited to see what composition is going to be played out here.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely one where like that Octane is going to be extremely useful. If you just zip around to try and find an off angle with him, the Pathfinder, I think he's been 100% picked so far. And yeah, I kind of want to see like a Valkyrie. Like I like Valkyrie just for the simple fact that like her mobility is on her passive, right? And so you don't have to have the extra charges. You just use that tactical charge for the extra missiles, and that's it. But for now, it does look like with Farm Boys, Tyler, Rakinishu, and Impulsive Dream, they are going to be running the Bloodhound, the Pathfinder, and the Wraith. We didn't get to see as much Wraith. We saw it on Gardens, I believe, but Tyler is forced to back off. They don't have any heals for him here as Impulsive Dream tries to stand and bang, but he gets cracked himself. Rakinishu there is there to trade some damage, but he's dropped down to about 70 HP, 50 HP now. He backs away, but Impulsive Dream trades, gets that knock on the James Fearless, bringing this down to a 3v2.
Yeah, they're actually on a low ground here, but it doesn't really matter since they're gonna have this 2v3 situation. If they take it slow, take everything with their heals and meds, they're gonna be able to win this fight pretty easily. And so everyone has wingman from what it seems like.
Yeah, and Farm Boys being allowed the time to just full heal up. I mean, he hit a Phoenix kit here, and now they're going for that left and right flank. All three members are up top. Depressedly, the only one to go down inside Team Pringles, and they'll be able to pick up round number 1.
Yeah, as you can see from the composition, Pathfinder is definitely a legend that's always come through. You'd love to see it. The boys finally getting some love after, you know, a few seasons of nerfed to the ground pretty much. And yeah, I'm excited to see more of these Pathfinder plays.
Yeah, my boy coming back into play. I absolutely love to see it. I mean, with, you know, being able to play Classic and being able to play Skulltown again, Pathfinder feels so damn good once more when you're on the King's Canyon. But here in Arenas, it looks like he is the king so far. Everyone picking him up, that extra mobility, having 2. I believe you start out the gates with 2 swings in. If you want to buy more, I believe it's only like 3 credits as well. But here's Team Pringles. They're actually going to take an early jump pad to try and take control over mid on the sand side, and that gave them that priority. And so now it's all about positioning here. The scans come out, and now Pringles are looking for the angle on this squad.
So yeah, they actually prioritized the middle height here instead of going in from that bin. Impulsive, managing to get a knock on James. Hiraki left alone. It's gonna be Pringles Fury trying to get that cover in. Manages to knock Raki Presley with the wingman. It's gonna be a 2v2 situation. Actually, let's see, they're gonna be rezzing Tyler with that big wingman cover. Fury goes down. They just dominated that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They traded positioning and they managed to actually get that dub right away.
Yeah, absolutely insane. They had the opportunity to, of course, go for that res, holding the angle on their stairwell as they tried to interrupt it. That was just beautiful play coming out from them. Had that 3v1 advantage at the end, heading into the next round now. And it looks like it will be pulling over to the right. And so we'll see if we have any other shenanigans here. No jump pads out here for a squad. And so, I mean, I like that idea, using that early jump pad to get priority on positioning, but, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out now. But here we go. Impulsive Dream, Tyler, and Rakinishu walking their way up to Mirage Voyage. The scans coming out early there. And so they understand the kind of timings on this push. They're going to try and find some flanks on the left and the right. Nice airburst with that nade. Allows Impulsive Dream to have control over the rooftop, but he will go ahead and fall back down. Tyler's still looking for this angle on the other side, but he gets hit up. He does actually walk away with those meds, though, so that's going to be very important for the Farm Boys.
You can see they're just trading off damage. This one's gonna be a slow one compared to the other one. No, I take that back. We actually see here the Presley pushing in as a Bloodhound. Actually managed to get a knock. Tyler trading one back. It's gonna be a 2v2. Fury trading with that flat line. It's gonna be low ground here. Still managing to get good damage. Nade goes up. Is he gonna be able to knock one? Nade coming in. I think it's gonna be Fury with the clutch. Insane nade.
Huge. It landed right between his legs there. Got the full 100 connect, and you know he was feeling himself. Just charges forward with that flat line and finishes him off. What a surprising end to the round number 3, an explosive end there. But damn, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I instantly took my words there. I didn't expect Bloodhound pushing in that aggressive but was actually managed to get a trade, and definitely was a worth push. Even being stuck in low ground, they still managed to make that work.
Here we go. It's round number 4 now. Jump pad out from Team Pringles here, but Farm Boy's already up top. Rakanishi has to be careful. Here comes another air nade. Let's see if this one lands. A lot of nades being used for this round. Remember, in arenas, they're maxed out at 3. One more air burst, and we'll see if that connects, but doesn't look like. Fishing with dynamite, they don't get anything off of it now. Tyler's forced back as they're trying to play inside of the ship. And they only have 3 points of access really to worry about. Those 2 doors up on top of the roof, and that one right behind them as well. So things slowing down just a bit. The scans come out, and that might be the end of scans for our squads. Rakinishu does have an opportunity with one more swing to try and go up, or he can just try to climb right here. But with that ship being outside, that's going to allow Team Pringles to really have priority on that one. We'll see if they try to control it, but it looks like it's more about just positioning for the fight instead.
Yeah, for this in this situation, these 2 teams are actually gonna fight out whoever does the most damage on this next push when the zone does push them out of this cover. As we can see here, the other team's gonna have height and definitely gonna have more cover if they push out far back and they try to hold that team. And I think Tyler's team is in a really tough spot since they're gonna have low ground, they're gonna have much cover inside this ship. Trying to get that off angle. Fury manages to stop him.
Now we have Farm Boys trying to go in. They got a knock onto Tyler, but it's traded 1 for 1. So now it's down to a 2v2. Impulsive Dream banging here up against that path, and Rakinishu helps him out, and that's going to be it. And they do, of course, take that now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of plays here for the height. Wait, that was a championship.
Yes,
that was
sir.
Tyler's team that won.
We've got a lot of issues in terms of the
Yeah.
HUD, so it's a bit difficult to keep track of. We
Yeah.
really apologize, guys. We're working with what we got, but our production's doing an amazing job today. We have one more quarterfinal match, so it's going to be Space Station Gaming versus XXD to see who faces off against the Farm Boys, who will be moving on to the semifinals. We're getting closer and closer to the grand finals here. So one more match in the semifinals, quarterfinals, 2 more matches in the semis, and then we get to really see what our teams are made of once we get to the grand finals, which will be a best of 3. It's been really great to see. I think we've seen, let me see, the only map we haven't seen so far is Artillery, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Artie is the
Artillery,
only
yeah.
one we haven't seen quite yet, which I'm surprised with, because I feel like Artie is one of the most like even maps, you know, in terms of like
no, I
symmetry.
completely agree. Yes, it's probably the most balanced map in terms of like covers. Both sides definitely is fair in terms, and I think compared to the other maps, I think they do have their advantages depending on which side you're on. But well, it all comes down still to your how you played it out. But
Oh wait, we haven't seen any of the Kings Canyon, so we haven't seen Skulltown or Artie yet. And so those are the other 2 that I would love to see. Maybe once we get to the grand finals, where we have to play out in a best of 3, there's an opportunity there. But for now, it looks like everyone's just going with the ye old faithful. Oh wait, Skulltown isn't in customs yet. Okay, so Artie is the only map that we have not seen yet. Thank you, Bear, for keeping me abreast of that one. So I would like to see Artie. Like when arenas originally launched, I said, you know, Artie was probably going to be the arena map to play on just because of how balanced it looks. But it's been great to see how the composition meta has changed between a lot of our maps here. On Gardens, we got to see some Watsons. We're seeing some raids and some Pathfinders, some Jibbies and stuff. So it's been really cool to see how our teams actually flesh this out. We are getting our last match of the quarterfinal set up right now. Like we said, it's going to be SSG, Space Station Gaming, taking on SXD. The winner of that will be facing off against the Farm Boys, who just took the dub here in in that round. And then, of course, in our other semifinals match, it's going to be G2 versus Equalix. But here we go. On to Phase Runner, as we do have our final quarterfinal match set up right now between Space Station Gaming and SXD. We are getting them into the lobby, and it looks like we are getting legend picks, and we get a quick glimpse at that. So, Pathfinder, nope, never mind. If only, could you imagine if there was no legend limit and it's just like it's just Pathfinders grappling everywhere? What if you could like chain grapples with Pathfinder? Like you just get like 6 people and you just like chain each other with the grapples and just like swing around the map.
Cool.
All right, it looks like we are getting into our final quarterfinal match here on Phase Runner. Phase Runner, we've been seeing some different styles. We saw Lifeline, which was one of the off picks early on. Gibraltar, along with Bloodhound, seems to be like more of the optional ones here. But Pathfinder has been 100% pick rate so far, with I think Octane at like seemed like maybe 80%, and Wraith as well around 70%. So it's been a really healthy mix, I think. Right now we are going to have, it looks like SXD, they are running the Lifeline, who we saw earlier on. Both end up taking that warp on over. We'll see if any team can take priority over that bin, and it looks like it's going to be Space Station Gaming that take the bin and back off. And Darkin, he gets punished for that one as well, dropping down to about 40 HP. Now they do have Zanya on that Lifeline, so she can drop that dock drone. He does have some heals for himself as well, so he'll be topped off.
Oh, Frex actually getting a knock here. Darkin goes down. He's gonna get that Lifeline res, however, and SSG is gonna be pushing off of that knock.
Frex
manages to get Darkin again.
Yeah, that re-knock. And we were talking about kind of like the weapon meta here, but SSG cleaned that one up. And one thing to note, we had someone playing, I believe, the 30-30, and I don't like the 30-30 here in arenas.
Yeah, 30-30 is kind of a tough weapon, especially when you're getting pushed by these guys. Just like you can't really do much when in close range, especially in 30-30. The fire rate and how the ADS kind of works, I don't know if it's intended, but if you shoot once on hip fire and if you try to ADS, it's actually you're not gonna be able to. You're gonna be stuck hip firing. And I guess it's mostly for trading. They're trying to just trade with the 30-30. I think it's a safer, kind of easier way compared to Wingman. And we can see Darkin controlling the middle on the bins. But
I like how they just like both run up and try to grab whatever they can. You know, it's like the Hunger Games. It's just like, okay. But here's Darkin. He's got to be careful again. Remember, he was the first knock in round number 1. He's playing on the left-hand side. This time around, Zanya with that L-Star on the right. Senyama playing anchor way far back. You can see both teams actually mirroring these positions so far and how they play these. But it's going to be nades out from the opposite side here, trying to force an angle out from them. SSG with the 2-0 lead. Might make this 3-0. Cat with the booth. Getting a knock onto Sadyama and SXD. Their tournament run might be over here. Zanya, oh my goodness, getting some great damage off of that L-Star, but it overheats now. Darkin needs to get some extra damage off. They got the first knock. It's down to a 1v2.
Oh
what
my
happened?
God! Wait, how did they manage to win that?
They ran head first into the L-Star, which like I don't like the L-Star, but in that one specific situation where you're able to get like 30, I think it's 25 bullets off, and you're just hitting headies, it does so much damage up close like that. That was crazy. SSG kind of threw that one a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like L-Star, when you get that timing when like stopping, is so powerful. It's like it just seems like to the enemies you're not even reloading. You're just constantly shooting red sunlights, just stars, blinding the enemies, and does a lot of damage as well if you get lucky with a headshot. Yeah, it's burst of damage coming in.
All right, here we go. We do have, of course, the stims being used to get priority on the meds, and so he'll be able to back off with that, pop off the Phoenix kit, just because, I mean, what's the point of trying to hold on to a Phoenix kit later on? You'll need the faster heals, and so they'll be able to get themselves topped off, forcing out the bubble as well. 2 members stuck here on the right-hand side. SSG eyeing it for now, waiting for that bubble to go down, and maybe some nades come in.
So as we can actually see here, Dropped has 2 sets of bubble. About another one. Looks like he's going to be able to have another bubble if they ever need it again. Ooh, going to be taking a lot of damage here. Zanya actually manages to get a knock on him. Dome goes down. Lifeline's going to be aggressive for pushing this. Bloodhound goes down from behind. Manages to get some big damage. Not going to be enough cover. That with the boof goes down. Gonna be Zadyama versus Frax. Frax manages to get 1 knock. Actually nearly knocked 2. Not gonna be enough, however. Good try coming in from Frax.
Oh man. All right. I believe are we tied 2-2 now? We're tied 2-2
Yes,
now, right?
I think
Okay.
it's 2-2, yes.
All right. Yeah, I like the idea coming out from SSG going for the extra dome. It can be a little expensive, because it is of course going to be like, I think like 200 or something to buy that, but the utility of it and how early the first one can be forced out does kind of necessitate you to pick up a second one.
Yeah. The guns of choices here, Zadyama or Zanya with the L-Star has been really suppressive. He's just covering angles with the L-Star, doing as much damage as he can in one burst, and actually managing to get big damage leading to a knock is very useful for his team.
Yeah, just being able to run into someone with it is great, right? Like close range, it can dish out a lot of damage real fast. It's mid-range where you see the projectile speed makes it so difficult to hit anyone. But right now they are slowly trying to creep up onto SSG. Nade out, forcing out the bubble. Only hitting for 30 on that one as Darkin is forced to reset himself. Here comes Zanaya on the right-hand flank. He's got that L-Star out now, and he's keeping an eye on them. Sadyama got the first knock onto Frax here, and here is Zanya with that L-Star once again. Traded back, though. It's down to a 2v2, but Sadyama has to back off. And now it's going to come down to the 2v2, the peak coming out, the high ground push out, but it will be another 1-for-1 exchange. Sadyama with 10 HP will fall, and that will be SSG taking the round.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty insane comeback coming in from SSG. They were the first one to get knocked with Frax going down, and caught with the boof. I think that's the Zenio with a big hold, managing to knock Darkin from the other side, and we have Dropped covering from the left side, preventing Zanya to actually push with the L-Star.
Yeah, again, that L-Star is so awkward to use because you saw how close he wanted to get with it. He understood that like playing that at like 15 meters is still not close enough. You need to get so much closer if you want to be consistent with hitting the shots on it. We'll see if it continues to play off of it right now, but both teams should be taking the phase runner on over, and it's going to be another fight over this bid.
From what it seems like, though, Zenial's actually been controlling that bin almost the entirety of this round or this match. Been managing to get that for free. Darkin here getting knocked. Has to pop a bat. Gonna get cracked with that nade. It's kind of scary. Thought it would do that more damage than it did. They're controlling the left side. They're gonna be on the height here. Oh, the zone's actually gonna be pulling to the other side, or not necessarily other side, but more to the left side of this map. As we can see here, they're gonna be held out. Everyone's playing off angles with the wingman Zadyama getting knocked, having to pop a bat here. Big nade coming in, nearly knocks him, forces the dome out. The zone's gonna be coming in. They're in a really bad spot here. Darkin is gonna be one shot, popping some syringes, and we have SSG controlling the entire map. Actually, Gibby ult goes down as well. It could not go any worse for Zadyama's team.
We got the scan out now. We do have Zenile going for that bat. As Drop gets the knock on Sanyama, brings us down to a 3v2. They've also got the ring to their back right now. So SXD, they've got everything against them. The ring will close in. They're starting to tick away. Might have taken 1 damage there, and there you go. Will be SSG taking the round. And you know, you got to commend XXD. They've been trying to get aggressive. They are the ones that have been, you know, stepping up and trying to find the angles, but it's been SSG who just kind of fall back, faint away, and take advantage of those situations. Still, though, it's mind games right now between our two teams.
Yeah, we actually saw their SSG kind of just slowly kiting them away since the zone was actually pulling away from that side. They managed to help them out until the zone moved in. Yeah, they actually managed to get that win, and I think it's so Drop in them is going to be SSG is going to be leading this one. They're on match point, maybe, or one game off match point.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when we don't have the round indicators, and I'm not that great at math, or we're keeping track of it, but here's Drop setting up for the right-hand flank. Now he is, of course, on that Gibraltar. He's got the blue mag as well, so he'll have a little bit extra staying power with that wingman for now. But for the time being, we'll see if he can trade effectively with that arm shield, trying his best to find some good angles there. Does trade arm shield for arm shield, and so it's just going to be Gibraltar versus Gibraltar trading away now as they swap off positions. It's 2 members on the left-hand side, and it's going to be, again, just very slow. Drop has 2 more of those domes of protection to use as well, so a lot of utility being invested in by SSG. Beautiful nades out as well, but here's Darkin once again trying to find the flank, trying to find the off angles for his squad, getting some decent damage off with that Volt, and will continue to push forward. But there's the first dome now coming out from Drop, and they'll have another one, so we'll see. Maybe SXD don't expect them to have a second dome to use here with that nade hitting for the 10, just swapping around positions. But again, SXD are the ones trying to get aggressive on these angles.
Yeah, and we actually can see SSG whenever they push back, they have an off angle, like a head glitch or some sort of cover whenever they push back. So if the enemy team tries to chase them, they actually have cover and can trade those damage back. You can see here they're gonna be going on the right side. They're just going round and round while picking SXD out. Zanya getting cracked here in a very tough spot. Seems like the enemy is not gonna be pushing this. Popping a bad Darkin gets cracked, nearly gets knocked, is forced to pop a bat right here. So Yama holding out on his own.
He needs to hold this angle for his squad right now, but he gets cracked now as they start to push up. Ring will be closing in. No, looks like they have a little bit of priority on this one, forcing them down onto the low. One caught out by himself, but Frex doesn't care. He's got the Prowler, gets the knock onto Darkin, bringing this down to a 2v3. SXD are melting in the face of SSG right now, but the HP bars are low, but it looks like SSG will have enough in the tank, finish them off. They'll be our first grand finalist here. Oh, wait, no, the semi-finalists, excuse me. Got a little bit excited there. So they'll be moving on to the semifinals. SSG will be taking on the Farm Boys, and our other semifinals match, that's going to be G2 versus a qual. So some really great matches ahead of us as we head into the semifinals. That will be, of course, it's going to be still a best of 1. It's only going to be our grand finals, which will be a best of 3. So these matches are still going to be fast. That one was a little bit longer, though. That went the distance as you need that win by 2 condition. And so, yeah, congratulations, SSG. Right now, no team has secured any money quite yet. Remember, it's only the top 3 that will be walking away with the money. First place with $1,500. Second place with $750, and third place with $250. And so securing yourselves into the grand finals, that's the most important part, right? And this next win secures at least $750 and then a chance to play for $1,500. So really important matches here in the semifinals.
Yeah, so this is where it kind of gets more sweatier, and I'm actually surprised that these matches doesn't last as long as I thought it would. A lot of these teams play aggressive, and I really commend that.
Yeah, that one was the longest match we've had so far. That went what? It was like 7 rounds or something.
Yeah.
6 or 7
Yeah,
rounds there. SSG and SXD trading back and forth, but ultimately SX. You noted, right? SSG were just doing a good job with dealing with the aggression and just kind of backing away to safe positions at safe times as well. Really does kind of put forth the importance of that dome shield for dropped. One of the few Gibraltars we've seen actually committing into the extra 200, 300 credits or whatever for the extra dome of protection there. And so it does play into their style. We'll see if they can continue forward with that, but they will be, of course, in our semifinals, and we'll get to see more of that. Now, we do have a note. Third place game is not going to be played on stream. It will be announced on Twitter later on. And so, yeah, I mean, it'll be kind of weird. We just want to get straight to the grand finals if we can. But before we get there, of course, another shout out to our sponsors. So Never Alone. It's an org that spreads mental health awareness and all those resources for that. Remember, you are never alone. There is always help. Type in !never alone into the chat to find out more about them. Huge shout out, of course, once again to Shaka Wear. You type in !Shaka, you get all that information about them. It's a clothing line based in Los Angeles. They've got some streetwear, and they're, of course, got the newest collab with Congarna for the ALGS jerseys. Use BFC 20 for 20% off your order. And of course, Esports Tower, just !Tower in the chat, gives education opportunities to gamers, such as scholarships and such, which I think is super important. You know, a lot of esports players and pros, they're pretty young, and a lot of them forego college. But if you want to actually have an opportunity at both, give Esports Tower a shout out, give them a check out. That's once again with !Tower. Now, of course, if you want to compete in any of our games, all you have to do is type in !qual into the chat for registration info. Every week, BFC is putting on these tournaments, $2,500 on the line every Saturday. And if you want a chance to play with your favorite pros and win some money at that, you can definitely do that by typing in !qual. Looks like we are getting the next game set up, and it will be another Phase Runner map.
Yeah, Phase Runner, I think this map is one of the more I guess harder map, kind of, because it's easier to get caught out with the off angles, and a lot of these zones kind of play out, and depending on how you can cover for each kind of each side, I guess. Yeah, each side, as we can see here, the zone.
That's interesting. So Aqualix decided to play this one at range up against G2, which makes sense. So they opt for the Phase Runner portal, while G2 ended up going to the south themselves. This ring will be pulling in between both of those spots. And so both squads just evenly split the resources across the map right now. You can see Yuki along with Nasky are on the right-hand side, while Dell is playing Anchor in the center of this point. But G2 has a full 3-man pushing up on the right-hand side. No scans from either side, so I don't know if they're keeping good track of them for now, but G2 are lurking here on the eastern side of the map.
Well, as we can actually see there, Sir Dell, with that big grapple, going to be taking the other side. They're all going to be changing spots, and this zone's favoring more towards that left side, designed for with this angle. Going to be managing to get some poke damage on that Jibby arm shield. Getting an angle here on the backside might be bad for Aqualix, depending on how good his angles are here. He has a really good angle here. Gilderson.
Oh my goodness.
Gilderson managing to get knocked by Serdell and Yuki. Here we have Designful and Bloodhound pushing in on the right side. Yuki actually gets knocked by Designful. Designful with those big waypoint shots. Yuki actually got caught on the right side. He did not expect the Designful to come out of this side right here. It seems like it's going to be a 2v2 situation. Serdell versus Nasky here. You can see here the Bloodhound's actually controlling the zone. It's going to be a Gibby left. Designful is getting cracked here. They managed to get a trade back.
Gonna pop that bat for now. Verhulst tries to go for that peek, that jump peek off the wall. But oh boy, Designful has to back away. They're trying to pressure him, forcing out the bubble. Qualix, they get the knock onto Designful, and now it's all up to Verhulst, left in the 1v2, and he tries to stand his ground, but good timing coming out from a Qualix. They're really taking advantage of them dropping down to the low, and so it will be a Qualix taking the first round in this match.
Receiving words that Naski, who's an MNK player, is actually playing controller in this match. And that
All right.
game right there, and that's impressive. It did not. I'll be honest with you, that did not look like it was a change of input right there.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Right now, we'll see if they do the same thing they did last time, which was basically just play away from the zone, right? Expecting G2 to go straight for the zone, and this time around, Qualix, yeah, they're playing away from where G2 should be coming out from, so they're splitting the map once again. They'll take the north side, G2 will take the south side, and Qualix are really just once again trying to play this one at range.
Yep, it's gonna be another one of this match. This zone is way more towards that other side, however. They're gonna be forced into taking more angles, more aggressive angles here. G2 is actually gonna be pushed back by Naski. Naski getting this height on the left side with G2 trying to cover as much as they can. And from what it seems like, Aquax actually kind of in a bad spot since they don't have the zone. Serdell, however, with that big wingman shot, I think that's just enough to make to allow his team to rotate. Actually, insane cover coming in. Dome goes down for that drop. Naski, what is he gonna get for that R301? Just get an R301 out of that care package. Serdell again.
Yeah, it's not bad at all getting that R301 right now. They're the squad that wants to play a little bit more at range. They're trying to keep G2 at bay. But oh boy, big damage coming across. 2 armors cracked here as Yuki and Dell have to back off. Naski is the one holding it down, but you can see G2 trying to get aggressive now. One pushing on the left-hand flank. He has been caught out as Yuki took a lot of damage here, but here's Naski chasing him down. He's got the Havoc out. We'll get the first knock. Backs away onto the bubble as well. G2 now on the back foot in the 2v3 as they're trying to secure this thirst, but they go for that peak to finish off Designful. Verhulst is the next one to fall, and Qualix now with the 3v1. Just corner him out and finish him off. And wow, we saw G2. They were able to speed run their game in the quarterfinals, and now it looks like a Qualix want to finish this one off 3-0.
Yeah, that was actually some insane push coming in from Naski. He really utilized that damage coming in from Serdell, I think, or it was Yuki. Pushing that Gibby. He knows that if he chases that Gibby, he has enough time to get that knock. And when that dome goes down, it was actually good for him when that dome went down, since he managed to get the knock in and then go back in the dome to safety, not trading any damage back for a free knock.
We'll see if G2 can adjust to what Qualix have been doing. You know, G2 are the ones that want to be aggressive here, but this time around, they're actually playing towards the zone. And so this might work out in G2's favor, but Qualix with the wins, they have the extra credits, they have the extra utility to throw out the nades here. No connects there for Yuki as he threw out 2 frag grenades. Traded back on the other side, and here's the early bubble out from Qualix, but Yuki needs to take a moment here as he needs to hit that bat. Nades out for Naski, forcing out the bubble on the other side from G2.
Yeah, everyone's just playing angles. We still have Serdell here suppressing fire with the wingman. And it seems like G2 is gonna get aggressive here, pushing on the other side. Designful hard peeking on that Gibby. We have Naski really more aggressive. The Octane pushing in. Yuki manages to get a knock on Designful. Yuki gonna go down, however. It's gonna be a 2v1 situation. Big wingman shots coming in from G2. They actually looked like they were losing that trade, but no. They won that square and fight from low ground. Naski gonna be pushing in while being cracked. They're gonna be enough, not going to be enough. And it's gonna be G2 taking this round. It's gonna be 2-1, I think. A tight situation here. Scary situation.
Qualics are still on map point, so maybe they go back to the game plan from what they were doing originally in rounds number 1 and 2, where they were playing away from the zone, predicting G2 to play towards the zone, and then play a little bit more at range and try to catch one out with an off angle. This time around, though, they are eyeing that phase runner once again, so it looks like we might have another head-on collision over on the north side of the map.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be just taking this one head on. As you can see, they're gonna be going through this phase runner. It's gonna be a straight up repeat, I think, of the last round. But Yuki,
Oh my
Yuki
goodness.
with those big wingman shots. Serdell manages to utilize those wingman shots to actually get a knock. That's gonna be Gilderson's gonna get knocked, and we have Serdell grappling in one shot on Verhulst. It's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade. Yuki's actually one shot. Designful pushing in. Is he gonna be Is he gonna be able to take this one to a 1v1? Serdell in a 1v1 situation in the Jibby. Is it gonna be? Oh,
Del, you had the
oh my
god! That was scary.
Designful. That was actually really close coming in from Designful. So that it looked like he had that one clip, but
Oh man, huge shout out to Designful though. In that 1v2, right? He jumps into the bubble, melees him out, brings him down to one shot, and then knocks him when he pulls out his gun, and then still plays off the bubble right afterwards. And it was so scary. It's so scary that entire time I'm looking at Del. He's got an EVA 8. I'm like, just pull out the EVA 8, man. Just pull out the EVA 8, please. But yeah, he clutches that one up. All right, so it will be a Qualix. They have secured themselves at least $750. My camera has died. I'll fix that in just a moment. And they'll be moving on to the grand finals. We have one more semifinal match. It's going to be SSG versus Farm Boys. The winner of that, again, will be securing at least $750 and moving on to the grand finals. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we get back, we'll find out who our second grand finalist right after this break.
Ops1X here. This video is sponsored by Esports Tower. Esports Tower is a community helping serious players level up their game on a week-by-week basis through combining coaching, best practice tutorials, and industry networking. Joining a club, you will be paired with teammates of similar skill and receive a team coach. Your team will practice twice a week to prepare for a weekly competitive events like this one. Joining an Esports Tower Club team, you'll practice the mechanical skill sets that are required to compete at a professional level. Your coach will help you discover the mistakes you make through VOD reviews and will teach you the foundations of teamwork, communication, and leadership. To top it all off, you will have the opportunity to network with esports pros, general managers, and collegiate esports coaches and recruiters. Speaking from experience, investing in a program that can expedite your path to pro is extremely valuable. Esports Tower also has exclusive events and organized tournaments for scholarship opportunities. Go to esportstower.com/Fortnite for a free 2-week trial on me.
Can you feel that?
Closing in on their final kill. They play this slow. They play it
Oh,
safe
he
now.
knows.
They're going to be able to take out the Gibraltar there. Dude's night out. They managed to win our second game.
With the melee kill, taking game number 2, Dude's night out. And it's gonna be another kind of West zone. Looks like it's gonna maybe focus in on Fragment West and Fragment East this game.
Got some fighting going on over in the West, though. I'm curious to see who ends up going down as that. I'll be keeping my eye on the kill feed for sure as we pan over to Harvester. Take a look at X set, the winners of Game 1. exactly what Kungarna is doing as well, poking their heads in. Have the cost of their own to lay down some of that damage. First knock might go down at any second, though. The damage really taken on this Revenant. Not going to quite end up being enough, though. Somebody, please, finally get the kill.
Underrated.
And it is underrated. Holy moly.
Yes, underrated is taken out in 20th place again in game number 2. Wow, Vayne on 1 HP, but they seem to... Yeah, they seem to clutch it for the second time in a row, and I wonder if this is going to push underrated to a different drop spot next game.
Actually might be in a little bit of trouble because they've got MSP closing in on them from behind, but I don't know if they know it yet.
Down with the gold shield.
How on earth? Sudden shot out of the sky as guys are here. Actually puts the team in a little bit of a tough spot. The Bocek is really doing work right now, though, for Matey. After losing their member, getting thirsted even. It's going to be difficult to res, let alone stay alive in the story on 33. Up just yet. The thing is, they are outside of zone, right? So somebody's going to have to rotate first, and if Matey keeps landing these bow shots, it's not going to be Kungarna EU. They're very, very happy right now. I don't really know that they're coming as the Knights hanging out under here seem to be...
I believe Northern Forces is fighting Team Knights here in the bottom of this this bowl here. And it looks like they're being pushed by the Dodge Fathers, another Revenant Octane team.
And they've got plenty of room to work with as well. Dodge Fathers might have actually third-partied this at the perfect time. They don't know that the Knights are coming up as well, who certainly want involvement in these kills. The Sura and Bronzy making their way in. Mercy's going to bring up the rear, grab himself a fresh shield, and take control of the sorting factory.
It looks like Kubski's team, they want this building. They're going to be pushing with a caustic.
Yeah, this is so rough, actually. Kubski and friends are definitely feeling the hurt right now with one knock in the building, though. The Qualix might go down. Still a lot of gas going out, but that's going to be the cleanup there. And Steve Kubski do get knocked out, surprisingly.
Aqualix is lucky. They did get one of them knocked in there, and it looks like they're actually getting pushed.
It doesn't feel lucky. It really
Not at all.
I know. As soon as we take a breath here, they're already being pushed by 2 brains, 1 controller, who end up popping out to claim the truck here, get themselves a little bit of safety reset, because I think they smell a third and even a fourth party incoming off of them. It's very hard to push because you open yourself up to so much fire from other squads in the area that you kind of just have to play defense as the squad that is in the truck, not die, and eventually somebody else will take care of your enemies for you. A little bit less than this squad in the corner.
Oh, and they were actually camping Northern Forces totem here, and they were able to take out Northern Mask, I believe.
Yeah, that's one member down for sure, and they'll have to keep an eye on that totem. Certainly everybody else is going, oh, whoa, we can't die now. We can't go back to that because Knights are waiting for us still, though. Knights may be chewing through you as Bronzy looks to finish off a kill right now. Does end up getting that one, so yet another kill on the board for Knights. They might be making their big comeback this game. Fortunately,
it was their totem, right?
Exactly, it's their totem. Qualix, unfortunately, have knocked out, in the meantime, our favorites.
Oh my
favorites.
gosh.
So this Team Girl, once again, going down here, but did manage to secure themselves some placement points this time, as falling in 13th place will at least get you that singular point, and I'm sure they got a kill to go with it, right?
Right, they got some kills and a lot of loot here. Oh my gosh, they have a loot on Kungarna and Girls team. Going to push, and Alpine Hill doing so much damage on 2 brains, 1 controller, trying to take advantage, trying to get some kills here.
Oh,
Alpine, no!
Hill!
Wow.
A grenade, no less.
And 2 brains, 1 controller, getting a vertical nade onto Hill Alpine, taking them out. So that might be very hard for them, especially since they have to get uphill here.
Like what Qualix is doing right now, they're setting themselves up for success at the moment. Have those barrels coming constantly out of Yuki with the gold helmet as well for a little bit of lessened cooldown there.
Looking to take over this fight here.
Yeah, they're actually just going to sort of drive by this one too, throwing in the damage with the Valkyrie here, dropping the bubble as well for a very short reset. It's actually super important for them, and this might actually be the final circle if these pushes are aggressive enough. The Qualix are under fire. Dudes Night Out want this win, and they're getting the full support of every member of the squad right now, along with the caustic gas to get themselves a nice position here at the top. They are the ones that remain Kings of the Hill as they knock out yet another squad, and the kill leader title belongs to Duke. Now looking over at Legit Lolly, just these two squads left in the lobby. Who is going to come out on top? Team Pringles or Dude's Night Out? I think it's just Legit Lolly over there.
I think it is. I think Legit Lolly is the last standing member of Team Pringles, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy, solid win for Dude's Night Out here.
Just closing in on their final kill. They play this slow, they play it
Oh,
safe.
he
Now
knows.
they're going to be able to take out the Gibraltar there. Dude's Night Out. They managed to win our second game.
With the melee kill, taking game number 2, Dude's Night Out. Amazing finish, so much action going on there, and it wasn't even the smallest ring of the game,
No,
which is exciting.
it was so fast because all the ground was so open there. And I got to offer up my congratulations to Dude's Night Out being able to.
All right, welcome back, guys, to Euriece's Arena Cup. I'm here with Euriece. I'm Jamerson, and we are heading into our next semifinal match. It's going to be Space Station Gaming taking on Farm Boys to see who will face off in the best of 3 in the grand finals up against the Qualix. Remember, winning this secures at least $750, so that's $250 per player. Not bad for a few hours of Apex here on a Saturday afternoon. So I'm glad to be joining you here today. How are you enjoying the game so far, Euriece?
Yeah, I'm really these plays and like these players, the 3v3s coming in. It's so fascinating watching these guys nearly clutching, the grapples coming through, the dome going down, big headshots with the wingman, one clipping with the Volt, and it's just like all around those these things that's happening. It's actually just like pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's a pure display of your team fighting. 3v3s, no worries about third parties. It's all about outbraining, out-aiming your opponents here, and that's it. Nothing else to worry about. So your positioning is so important. We're seeing why. You know, like we're seeing a Qualix in the grand finals, and that makes so much sense because this is one of those squads that is just zooted out of their minds when it comes to team fighting and their positioning and communication when it comes down to that. But we did get to see a big glimpse of that from Space Station Gaming in their matchup against SXD, where it was all about positioning, feinting, and falling back. We're going to be here on Mirage Voyage for this last semifinal match. It's going to be the Farm Boys versus SSG, and Tyler's taking a lot of damage here. He's going to be forced to queue on that Wraith. Akanishu on the high, gets the flank on the 2, but only hits one shot from behind. We'll see if they can trade those. Niles and Drop taking out Impulsive and Rakanishu. Farm Boys now. It's all up to Tyler in a 1v3.
Yeah, as we actually can see there, SSG really utilized Tyler being one shot and being away from his teammates, pushing in on that 3v2 situation on those double doors. And as we can see, Tyler's going to be alone in a 2v1. Will he be able to clutch this with the wingman?
Wingman Mozambique. Not the beak, not exactly what you want, but this is just round number 1, so your economy isn't that great. And so now Tyler, they're slowly just trying to find angles on him right now. It's going to be a 2 peak coming from lower, and then of course the flank from behind as well, and he just gets taken out. So SSG take round 1.
That was a really alpha from Fex. He just peeked that, wide swung that with the wingman, even though Tyler had height. Not really the safest way to go on a 2v2 situation, a 2v1 situation. He didn't even wait for a drop, straight up just killed him.
All right, and so we did have a split in that round, right? One went for Mirage Voyage proper, and the other went to the south-hand side, picked the loot there, and then moved on in this time around. It looks like it's going to be another fight over the ship, and we'll see, but it's going to be SSG already off to a 1-0 lead. Remember, this is a best of 1, single elimination, and you only have this one map to secure yourself that $750. Here's Farm Boys Tyler once again going for that really wide flank on the right-hand side. He's been scanned up as well, already taking damage before he even gets to the bin.
Yeah, and as we can see, SSG is really doing a really good job on covering and managing to trade some of these damage that they might lose on, since they're not going to have the bin priority.
Ooh,
It's coming in. That was really close.
Yeah, he took like
like-
minimal damage, surprisingly
Yeah, that
enough.
felt like that was a big nade coming in from SSG, but it seems like it wasn't. As we can see, Farm Boys gonna be pushing up on this. SSG gonna be pushed back on the far back side of the ship. Impulsive on low ground when the Bloodhound ulti second round. Let's see that.
And they want to try and swing things in their favor, even things up. So they did invest a little bit more into this round. But with Tyler being able to pick up the meds, that allows them that the extra credits, basically not having to buy their own. And Farm Boys have pushed inside the ship proper. It's going to be up to SSG. But here comes Impulsive Dream trying to find a flank. But he's instantly forced back down onto the low, just trading away damage. Rakinishu is going to heal up. There was that Phoenix kit, but Rakinishu is going to bat and med kit instead. So we're still left in this 3v3 right now. No side has lost a member quite yet.
Yeah, so I think in this situation, SSG is on an advantage since they have the Gibby and kind of like an easy swing on this zone that's about to come. Since Farm Boys is actually going to be stuck on low ground here. Yeah, they're going to be held out here when SSG swings far back, takes those head glitch and cover. We're going to see Farm Boys. They're going to be picked apart. Because since they're not going to be in the zone, Raki trying to get that an off angle. But it seems like they're going to be climbing up on drop. Drop gets caught from behind. Has to force to drop. Raki gets cracked right here. Big shots coming in from Tyler with the flatline spray. They're going to be playing the bubble. Impulsive goes down. It's going to be a 2v3 situation. Zenile swings in with the wingman. Gets knocked, but Frex trades the knock for Tyler. It's going to be Farm Boys losing this one again. SSG. A really good trying to even out the height since they tried taking the height from the backside. But yeah, SSG with that dome, dropping that dome and playing that dome really well. And they managed to just prevent a play happening.
Yeah, I liked what Farm Boys did, right? I mean, they had very little outplay potential there. Their best shot was to try to go for that lurk, climb up when they're rotating out, because they didn't spot them running for the circle, and they knew that they were going to be running in with the zone. And it was just, there wasn't just quite enough damage. They hit for flesh. They almost got the knock, but it just was not enough. Again, now is SSG looking to get the 3-0 here on Phase Runner and move straight on to the grand finals. This time around, we'll see if Farm Boys play this one a little bit closer to the vest. We saw, of course, in rounds number 1 and 2, Tyler doing this exact same thing. He's going for that bin control and has that off angle, but takes damage for it. But ultimately, it's going to be a net gain for him, right? He uses a few cells, but he'll be able to pick up a med kit, pick up a Phoenix along with the battery for himself. But they haven't been able to utilize this kind of economic advantage for themselves so far. But now, Farm Boys, they're getting some decent damage off this time around. Rakinishu has full control over the height, and he'll go ahead and swing on in to control the other roof side.
Yeah, SSG is actually forced onto low ground here. Zenile with those air grenades is going to be able to get some damage. Nope, none of them connects. Gonna have one more nade. And SSG in a pretty bad spot, but they're going to be committing to this low ground play. Since they do have bubble, I think drop usually buys 2 bubbles. So I think they do have 2 bubbles to have another bubble to play this one out. And
this time around, Zeniles is all out of nades. Don't know about dropped or Frex, but that could be the opening damage they need if they want to try and overtake them on this high ground. Scan has been used. Don't know why you needed to scan there when you can see them all through that window, through the moonroof.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess I still like the attempt, but you can see both teams now, just a complete standoff here. It's very similar situation as what we had in round number 2, but the roles are reversed. It's going to be SSG stuck inside the building for themselves. Dropped has that one bubble to use. If they want to try and climb up, there's an opportunity. You can see the off angle being set up by the other side from the Farm Boys. Only getting Drop's arm shield there.
This is actually kind of bad for Farm Boys because a bubble can isolate this fight with 3v2, and since Raki has used his grapple, I think not going to be able to help his teammates if they do try and make that play. Oh, Drop is forced to use his bubble. not going to initiate for a 3v2 isolated fight. What it seems like they're going to be playing this one out to late game, swinging up from the backside. SSG on a situation where they could climb. Rocky's not even going to see it yet. Frex manages to get a knock on Impulsive, but Rocky trades with Frex, Zenile, sorry. They're in a very good position here. I think they're going to be taking this round 3.
Oh, no.
But Frex nearly clutches that one. Not going to be enough, though. Farm Boys takes round 3.
Yeah, it looked like it was definitely like a positional error, just kind of giving up that roof. But I think it was more really on the point of the Farm Boys. They were the ones that took initiative. They're the ones that swung onto the roof to be able to control that and force them back. And so now, as it is come down to 2v1, it is still match point for SSG. If they win this round, they'll be moving on. If Farm Boys take this round, we'll have some extra innings here on Phase Run. Remember, it's just the best of one. You win this map, you move on to the grand finals, you secure at least 750. Here comes the zip line out from the Pathfinder now as Farm Boys once again want to get priority on the ship.
Ooh, Rocky on the Volt Alternator. Interesting composition. Ooh, I like this play. He's gonna be grappling in for drop, trying to get that ISO 1v1. Tyler on this off angle on the side again. SSG is forced down into low ground. They're gonna be fighting for this height, and it's actually Tyler, or sorry, Impulsive, trying to get that poke, trying to poke some damage, and as you can see, Farm Boys again controlling height once more. It's gonna be SSG. How are they gonna counter this height disadvantage coming in from Farm Boys? What do you think they're gonna do?
Well, the first thing I want to know is that like SSG try to change things up. They try to challenge Tyler for that. The supply bins that he's been taking up here. But it was Farm Boys who actually stayed together as a 3, and then they just kind of like funneled them in. They noticed that one member was forced back around, but I don't think they actually have a play again. It's going to be a similar situation. We're seeing a team that's stuck inside the building ends up losing it out. Farm Boys' their option was to just wait for the ring to close and force them off, but this time around the ring's not pulling away. It's still on top of the ship. I think at this point SSG just need to get aggressive, try to find 3 separate angles and climb up at the same time and hope that Farm Boys are split up and they just win their 1v1s, but it doesn't look like they're setting up any kind of attempt to do that yet.
Yeah, I think they could really utilize a Gibby bubble and like try and isolate like a 3 climb up at once type of thing and try to get a pick right away. But it seems like Tyler's gonna get cracked here. Oh, Dome goes down. It's like they're not gonna have Dome for this next zone wherever it pulls.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just Farm Boys again dominating height one more time. SSG not gonna be able to do anything against it. And as we can see, actually, I thought it's barely outside, or it's barely in the off angle on the back. If they want to climb, it's barely inside the zone.
Yeah, Rack has one more swing. So if he wants to try and take the other height just to have that angle for his squad or just have priority on the ring, he can do that for now. We don't know if Dropped has another bubble for his squad quite yet. And so just Farm Boys controlling the roof for now. And it's just passive gameplay, but it can't be passive any longer. 5 more seconds and the ring starts closing. Now SSG have to find a way out. You can see the cross angle already being set up by Rakinishu. He took that other height and he didn't even have to use his grapple for it, which is the most important part. So he'll have some extra mobility for this. And it's just a beautiful crossfire being set up from the Farm Boys right now. SSG, all 3 peeking out. Airburst nade coming out, but it doesn't look like it actually connects. Impulsive dodges out on most of that. And here's SSG making their last push. They get the first knock onto Frex, though, as Farm Boys now try to trade back. It's going to come down to a 2v2, and Farm Boys will win that out, make it a 2-2, and send us into some extra rounds.
Oh, this one's getting tight. Both teams just doing as much as they can to utilize off of other teams' mistakes. And as you can see, Farm Boys has been dominating the height these past 2 matches, and it's really paying off for them. Managing to, once they take the height, they just wait it out and dominate the later game, I guess. The end game for the zone. I'm excited to see what SSG is gonna try to pull at this one, because Farm Boys has been just picking them out, forcing them to drop from a height, and from what it seems like, SSG just kind of just lets it happen.
Yeah,
So,
Rakanishu just swings right up top, and this time around you can see now SSG, they're not going to try to go for that outer bin. Don't know if Tyler was able to pick that one up. Nice nade onto Rakanishu, but you'll be able to heal up, and Tyler does actually secure these bins. It's a full out push coming out from SSG, noting that Tyler is out there, and this is what they did in the first 2 rounds. They were able to see that he was isolated by himself. They take the 3v2 fight in. The Farm Boys do survive, but this time around, it's again going to be the Farm Boys who are stuck inside. Tyler still trying to find an angle here, but they've already lost out on one. Impulsive Dream has fallen as Rakanishu was able to get that bat up, goes for the ego peak, but it's gonna be SSG taking the roof and taking the win here in round number 5. Now they're sitting on match point.
Yeah, SSG is again. That's what they did the first 2 rounds, as you said. They got that lead from that play, and they're doing it again. And it seems like it's gonna work since Tyler. I don't think he's changed how he plays. He goes for that bin. That one bin, but it seems like this zone is actually going to be towards the other side, so we might see some different play style here, how these teams are going to play this side out, since they're not going to be that height advantage. Both sides could be on height.
It's pulling over towards the mid this time around, and now we get to actually move away from the ship. So I'm glad to see that at the very least, a little bit more of this custom map. And here comes the first nade out from the Farm Boys. As you can see, Tyler stuck on the low here, spots one out, and oh my god, no! Did he get, like, I think he got exploded out by a frag grenade, because he was instantly flashed, and now SSG are scrambling here as Farm Boys are looking to tie this one up 3-3. It's a 2v1. And Rakanishu and Tyler are both full HP, swinging on in on top of him. Should be able to take him out very shortly here. No, they're actually able to get a res, it looks like. I thought it was down to a 2v1, but it's a 2v2.
Oh, yeah. It's a 2v2. I thought Impulsive I actually thought Impulsive managed to get a knock there, trade for his life, but it's actually a 2v2 situation. Oof. It's going to be Tyler and Rakanishu against Rex and Drop swinging on Tyler. Tyler gonna be forced to queue back. It's gonna be Raki trying to cover for his teammates. Rex and Drop. Oh, this one's the 2v2 for the win. There's a lot of pressure here. It's gonna be SSG swinging in. Drop gonna be taking that height. Tyler trying to cover as much as he can. Gets one clip. Tyler, a big spray coming in, but it's actually Frex with the wingman shot.
Oh
my
man,
god.
Things looked so bad.
Wait, I think Frex is playing on the roller.
Oh, you think so? Is everyone just playing on controller today? Oh man. But yeah, that was crazy. In that round, Zanile gets naded out of position, and then he gets shot mid-air as he's forced out from that spot. Things looked bad for SSG. They're able to tie it up, but you saw like the kind of difference in how they wanted to play that out. SSG play off of each other. They play, they're double peaking everything, while Farm Boys were trying to play a little bit on their own. Taking the 1v2s, trying to get the flank and set up those angles, but SSG clutched that up in the end, and so they do secure themselves $750. They'll be moving on to the grand finals, and they'll be taking on a Qualix. Farm Boys, though, they still have a shot at money, so Farm Boys off stream will be playing up against G2 for $250. But what we're looking at right now, it's going to be SSG versus a Qualix in our first and only best of 3 of the day.
I just got confirmation. Frex was 100% on the roller. That's interesting to see. Some of these players, mouse and keyboard players, switching to controller for arenas, and undoubtedly, without even an argument, it's not even like a debate type of thing. I do think controller is more dominant in arenas, compared to mouse and keyboard, mostly because of the close range fights that you really do get to see in arenas, and I think that's when controller dominates.
Yeah, because it's only a matter of time, right? First ring closes up in 30 seconds, second ring in about 25 seconds. So after a minute, you're in that range. You're in that SMG range where you get the full damage. You're in headshot range. You're doing everything. And of course, you're in that accuracy range for the rollers. So I'm definitely, it's kind of funny to see that kind of
Yeah.
the input meta for arenas developing here. So Aqualix versus SSG. This one's going to be very fun to watch because it's going to be very methodical, position oriented, really team comm heavy style coming up from both squads. Map bans are going to be important as well. Maybe we will finally be able to see artillery. We haven't seen that all day in this best of 3. Hopefully we even get all 3 maps as well. So this is going to be a really fun one, Euriece.
Yeah, I think SSG and Aqualix and all these teams just show dominance when it comes to communication, positioning, aiming, and just utilizing any mistake that the other team has made and kind of put that into their advantage. And I'm excited to see how this one's gonna play out with bans coming in, and these players I think are gonna be in a pretty close one here.
Yeah, we're going to take one more break, and when we get back, it will be the grand final. Space Station Gaming versus Aqualix Gaming to see who will walk away with $1,500. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back, guys, right after this.
We're His and Hers Live.
And we are the newest members of KNG.
All right, so I've been gaming my whole life, and Judy was not into games, so I was always trying to figure out a way to get her into games.
I didn't even know what Twitch was a little over 2 years ago, so it kind of started in a unique way. My first video game was right when Apex came out, and we started streaming as a way of, hey, let's record this progress. It'll be really fun to watch you learn how to play. And here we are 2.5 years later running tournaments. I think we're on 150 tournaments now, $50,000 in prizes, and I feel like I've gotten pretty good at the game.
So I've been a part of many other gaming communities, and I can say that the Apex Legends community is the most wholesome of all of them.
I love the ladies of Apex the most. Our tournament series has always been promoting the women of Apex, whether it's just one per team or an entire tournament full of ladies. But I love the ladies of Apex the most. Oh, we've got Flesh. We've got a knock. Vicky did just use that flatline takeout Yusaki there.
Okay, we got Janie and Movana pushing in for the third party.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
Vicky!
Vicky, calm down!
Vicky!
Oh!
Vicky, let's go, girl! She popped off at the end there! We wanted to join KNG, not only because they have the best team right now in Apex Legends, congratulations guys on winning ALGS, but also because of the amazing opportunity for us to merge our Juke Bowl tournament series with the BFC tournament series. It's going to be huge for Apex. I cannot wait to merge the two. Red veins, that's too much. That's too much. Yo, Andrew!
All right, welcome back, guys, to Euriece's Arena Cup. We have hit the grand finals now. Here, it's all on the line. First place walking away with $1,500, and second place walking away with $750. So $750 basically on the line here. An additional $750 for our two teams. It's going to be a Qualix versus SSG, and we do have our map pool, and it's basically what we've been seeing all day long. We have Party for map number 1, Thermal for map number 2, and then Phase Runner for map number 3. If we get to map number 3, hopefully we do. Between these two squads, again, very methodical, very slower play styles coming out from both of them. Who do you favor going into this best of 3, Euriece?
It's kind of hard to tell. I think these two teams has really insane. They have the brain and they have that aimer, and then it's like, I think it's really hard to tell. I think it from the gameplay that we've seen from both of these teams, SSG with the aggressive but at the same time not aggressive gameplay whenever it comes down to getting pushed, and we have Acolix who's just even when in a really bad situation can turn it around and clutch it up. And
yeah, it's hard to tell, right? Because we don't have this kind of history. We don't have the stats, especially when you're going like EU versus NA. We don't get to see that often as well. And so this is really kind of precedent setting more than anything else. So Qualix is going to be playing up from EU. So I don't know if we're playing like New York servers or what, or like East Coast servers or anything to help with their ping. But at this point, there will be a slight disadvantage in terms of ping at the very least for them. But they still have a methodical play style, which they can take advantage of. I believe at this point, we have confirmation it's one controller per side at the very least, right? Nasky on the roller along with
I think Nasky denied that. I think
okay, Nasky said no. Okay. I don't know. Like when I saw him on the Havoc, I was like, maybe. Right, because he was running the Havoc when they were on Phase Runner. I was like, that makes sense. If you get the turbocharger on the Havoc, like that thing can absolutely beam. But yeah, we are getting the map set up, and we should be getting underway for our first game. This is the first and only best of 3 here, and hopefully we get to see all 3 maps. Once again, our 3 maps are going to be Party, Thermal, and Phase, and we got to see how SSG were playing that on Party in their semifinal match, where it was a lot about roof control, and when they lost it, those were the rounds that they lost. And so we'll see if they take those lessons coming into this round.
Yeah, so I actually a great question just came into my mind when you mentioned the Havoc, and I actually saw Nasky tap strafing right after, right a few seconds when he picked up the Havoc. What do you think of the kind of like the tap strafing mechanic in Apex, since it's becoming more relevant?
I like that there are more like ways to kind of increase the skill ceiling in the game. I think being able to utilize these movements is very important, and I think we should keep these things in, right? Getting rid of like the bunny hop healing and stuff. Like I feel like that kind of decrease the depth of the game. Anything that we can have more depth in the game, I would love to see. But I understand the arguments for it, right? Because it is difficult for the controller players. You need to like remap your settings and everything to be able to get that set up. But here we go. SSG, they got their lessons from that last map when they were playing up against Farm Boys. Roof control. Here we have, of course, it looks like an off angle, possibly an attempt to go for that bin, but Zanile took a lot of damage there and is forced back.
Yeah, we can actually see here SSG trying to hold this height as much as they can. But we can actually see Frex on the other side of the map. I think he's going for the bins here, and a pretty scary situation. But it seems like Acolix actually does not know, and they didn't utilize off of that Frex being really split from his teammates.
Yeah, if they knew, they would have gone full send 3v2. Unfortunately for Qualix there, they didn't get that drop as well that came in. So here you go. You see Frex dropping down the love for his squad, an extra back going the way over towards the Niles. Those are the meds that he was able to pick up the bins on the other side. He'll have the additional credits as well from that side of the map. And so this is pretty big. Right now, though, Quality, it looks like they're trying to make a move for that drop, and they will use that bubble. We'll see if they invested any extra utility to get an extra bubble on Yuki here, but oh my god, Niles. Two great shots, and you can see Frex is already on the roof on the other side to try and challenge them. Bubble's gone down or dropped to cover Frex, who was cracked. He will pop that bat for now, but here comes Niles. But oh my god, Nell just swings on in, gets tagged mid-air. Niles just going in for the swing shot, but Yuki gets one. It's a 1-for-1 exchange, bringing this down to a 2v2 as Niles trying to secure that thirst for now, catches him on the climb up. Yuki is forced down onto the low, and he will fall. SSG take round number 1.
Zenayo, those shots preventing Serdell kind of like on a health advantage. Cracking him mid-air with that wingman was really massive because the moment he lands, it has no armor, and he was really easy to take out. And that was some insane shots from Zenayo.
I mean, I agree with what Dell did there, right? But you can't expect Zeniles just to be absolutely cracked like that. We'll see this time around if it's going to be the same thing for SSG, splitting 2, sending Frex off to secure the extra meds on the other side of the map. But it looks like it's going to be a full push out to the east side now. Looking through X-ray, I don't actually see Qualix on the other side quite yet. And so, yeah, it's all 3 members. The map split between the west and the east right now.
We can actually see SSG gonna be jump padding to the other side, but it was Acolix jump padding to the other side, but it seems like SSG is on the other side of the map, and it didn't work out for them. I don't think they were planning for that to happen. They're probably expecting SSG to be the other side of the height, but SSG is actually playing this southern side of the map.
And this time around, the drop is going to be smack dab right in the center of the map as well. You're just hopping around right now, trying to get aggressive on them. Beast the Hunt or Frex here. This is going to be massive. He's got 3 charges of the scans as well, as they're forcing out the bubble early on. 2 members stuck out inside the bubble, 1 below them as well. Frex has a bead on him for now, waiting for that bubble to go down. But it looks like Qualix will just back away, but SSG, they still have the Beast in the Hunt going. Frex has that additional movement speed, and he's below. The first knock comes out. Yuki going down along with Dell, and it's all up to Nasky, and SSG might just 3-0 here on map number 1.
SSG. Yeah, like these wingman shots are so massive for these teams. Like being able to do 40 plus damage on 1 shot, especially if you get lucky with a headshot. And I know these guys are they've trained their wingman so much, and it's just way more consistent. And it's really fascinating to see like these guys just utilizing those damage that they can get through these pokes.
Yeah, this time around, we are going to be on purple armor, so it's a little bit different, right? The bullets to kill will be a slightly different. We do have that early zip line being used by a Qualix to try and take that rooftop control. Dell on the right side spots 1 out, but does not connect with the damage there as Yuki. He's only sitting on that white mag for his wingman, which I would like to have seen him with the blue at the very least when he's playing that Gibraltar, give a little bit more staying power. Here's Nasky, though, on it looks like he's doing that same thing that SSG did in round number 1, getting the extra utility. As the nade came in, Yuki took a little bit of damage there. We'll have the bat to heal up, though.
Yeah, as we can see here, Aquilix is going to try and take that height. Drop's going to be isolated from the height here. Yuki going to be trading with Frex from what it seems like. We have Nasky 1v1 Zenayo. It's going to be a 2v1 situation. It's all up to Frex, and it seems like Yuki's actually in a 1v1 situation here on a dumb fight against Frex.
Oh no!
Frex manages to get that knock. Nasky here. Oh my god.
Okay.
Frex.
Dell covering the door with an arc star at the very least.
Clutch this. Frex, big wingman shots coming in. not gonna be enough. That was really close though. We saw that bubble fight against Dropped, and he actually managed. That's not, you don't see that every day. Winning a wingman winning against a Gibby Mastiff.
Yeah.
You
Yuki
really
cracked
don't
him
see that every
real
day.
good too. That's the
Yeah.
surprising part. He had like 2 solid shots onto him, and he just really needed to like clip him one more time. But oh man, he's on another one right now. But Qualix keeping this one alive at the very least. It is 2-1, still map points for SSG. But if Qualix can tie this one up, we'll have some extra rounds here on Party.
Oh, both teams are gonna be utilizing this jump pad here, but it seems like Aqualex is actually getting angles, maybe. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, Yuki does a good job of dodging those nades until that one lands right in his face.
And it's gonna be SSG swinging in on that bubble. It's gonna be Nasky left alone, put into one shot. Zenile manages to get the knock. They're gonna turn around on Frax. Frax drops. There's gonna be a 3v2 situation. They're all it's just against Aqualex right now.
There's an opportunity to try to go for the res, but Dropped is already full healed, and he goes for the peek now, and almost gets the crack onto Dell, gets challenged, and Nile gets the knock, and that's going to be the first map going to SSG.
Yeah, like, I'm actually surprised. From what we've seen so far, these how these matches play out, it's kind of like a one team dominating it. It's not like where it goes to the really late what do you call that, death, whatever that, what was that,
like the final circle?
Yeah, the final one, or like it's either a team winning 2 matches in a row and kind of just like the other team holding on to that last match, and it's really just, it's interesting to see.
Yeah,
like,
I was expecting a little bit more fight there on Party Crasher out of Aqualix from what we've seen them today. But our second map is going to be, we're going over to World's Edge. It's going to be Thermal Station for map number 2, I believe, which is where we got to see a little bit more out of Aqualix, where I think they can slow play this a little bit more. But SSG are changing things up. I mean, it feels like they're being a bit more aggressive than what we saw in the last 2 matches for them. And so right now, maybe Aqualix just aren't ready for the kind of tempo that that SSG are playing off of. But you have to also note that right now, SSG, their nades are looking fantastic. A lot of these openings were off of the nades that they were able to get in.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things in Arena 2, and like having like perfect nade management, knowing when to throw them, knowing where to throw them, and knowing how to throw them, especially those frag grenades. Those vertical frags are so crucial. If you just get that one crack, and you can utilize that to actually just turn around that entire match off of one grenade.
Yeah, we saw in that last round, right? Yuki dodges out from 2, and then finally the third one. It was kind of like watching Battleship, right? Finally, he's like, all right, D4. Oh, you sunk my Battleship. Yuki took a big one to the face. He got cracked down to like 104 HP total. And I loved how SSG played off of that. Once they, in that last fight, when they got that first frag, when they got that first knock, they just all full 3 recommitted to the low ground. They healed up as full as a 3 and then took them apart with the 3v2 advantage. So you have to be careful. You cannot give either side an advantage with these squads, with how they like to play and how methodical they are. Map number 2, it is going to be Thermal Station. We'll see if Aqualix can send us into a map number 3 in this best of 3. Hopefully we get to, because, you know, these are 2 really big juggernauts in terms of, you know, like Apex Legends coming out from NA and from EU. And so I want to see more of their action here as we head into Thermal Station. Don't know what is going on over there.
Yeah.
You're getting crypto hacked, man. You're getting EMP'd. All right. Hopefully we get that fixed. But yeah, here we go. Heading into thermal station now. SSG. They are sitting on match points. It's all up to Aqualix to try and send us to a map number 3.
Yeah, we see here Zenile on the they're gonna be forcing on this left push here. This is actually going to give Aqualix a lot of room. They can grab a lot of money from the other side and loot as well. And I think Natsuki is already on that, or Natsuki or Serdell, yeah.
Oh!
Advantage, Zenile. You gotta calm down with that wing, man. I don't
hit
even
like
see what he's
4 in
shooting
a
at.
row there. Jeez. They do force out the bubble though. Frex was dropped down to about 20 HP.
Yeah.
And so Dropped has used that. He does not have a second one here, so they are a little bit vulnerable, but that's why they go for the swing onto the solo player here on the right-hand side. They need to take advantage of it, but that's good swing out from Dell because he was the isolated one. Good flatline shots coming out though. But now it's Aqualix who have forced them out of this position. They have priority as well onto this drop to pick up if they want to, and it's behind cover, so this is going to be a safe one for them. So Aqualix pick up that drop. They'll have a massive to play off of. Neko straight into the hands of Yuki.
Yeah, we actually see the positioning trade off of that big damage coming in, and as like you can really see how crucial getting cracked is. It gives that advantage to your enemies, and it's really hard to play against. And as you can see here, Aqualix gonna have those gun advantage. Yuki gets cracked through the door with the shield, but it's gonna be Serdell knocking Frex. Serdell puts into one shot though. Natsuki with the big flatline spray. He's gonna be able to finish off this last guy. Zenile, he might actually be able to clutch this up. Yuki gets knocked as well. Zenile put into the 1v1 situation. Serdell versus Zenile. Serdell's actually one shot. Oh my god, zone's coming in. And this one's looking like a turnaround from SSG, but SSG, Zenile puts into one shot, not gonna have any cover. Serdell with the EVA 8 shots. Get the win. That was way too close from where it started.
Yeah,
It went from
Aqualix had a huge advantage getting that initial knock. Nasky with the flank as well. But oh man, you can see how difficult it can be when you're fighting in the close quarters with all those knock shields there as well, making it that much more difficult to hit your target. It came down to basically just one shot on either side, but the EVA 8 advantage, you saw Dell was able to just spam that one out, connect 15, and then finish him off with one more pellet there at the end. And so the first round here on Thermal Station will go the way of Aqualix now as we head into round number 2.
Ooh. Oh! Yuki!
Oh!
With those massive wingman shots. Manages to get those double headshots, but Frex actually trades in.
Oh no.
And it's going to be Serdell getting knocked as well. It's all left alone to Yuki. Dropped, and Frex is going to be able to pop the batteries here, but Dropped actually goes on the other side, and Yuki manages to get that 1v1 on Frex. Frex gets knocked, Yuki gets cracked, drops full health pretty much, going through these knockdown shields. Dome goes down, not going to be enough. Drops, finishes the game. It's going to be Yuki going down, and we actually saw a turnaround there. Yuki managing to get that early knock on Zenile, but we saw Serdell getting knocked straight away right after.
Yeah, so we're tied up 1-1 now. Remember, it is SSG that are sitting on match points. It's Aqualix who need to get this map to send it to a map number 3, our final map, hopefully, of the day. And yeah, that was so surprising. So much fighting taking place for that, for the inside building there. And you can see how difficult it can be when you get those knocks. They are still in play. If you don't thirst them, they're going to be able to block the doors, make it that much more difficult for you to just push in, even though you were able to grief the doors now. This time around, though, the fight taking place on the western side of the map here, over by the Circle Donut building now. But Qualix. You can see Nasky. He's been the one that's been going for these wide off-angle flanks right now. Good shots out from Dell as he's forcing him across the lava. Nasky trying to find one on the right, but he's got to be careful. He knows that SSG, if they notice that he's here on his own, they will go for a full 3-man swing. He has been scanned, and you can see they're starting to converge upon him right now as Nasky's trying to hold the line. Dell will go ahead and join up with him, and it looks like he was just bait here on the right side, but he might go down.
Nasky that was a really, really risky play coming in. He nearly goes down, just trying to get an off angle, but we can see SSG, they're not messing around. They know how to utilize the solo players really well. And they actually have the zone here. Acolyx actually has the zone here. SSG gonna be getting a lot of angles here. Dropped. Nearly getting cracked.
Yeah, he's able to get the drop for his squad at the very least, and of course that roll drop will provide him a lot of cover. He's got the bin as well. There's the aggressive bubble up forward to try and get into that building right now, and we're gonna have another fight over the center of this building.
And we can actually see here, Acolyx is not playing for that inside. They're mostly trying to play for this outside of the building, and from what it seems like they learned from what it seems like, that inside is very disadvantageous for them.
Yeah, it's contentious, but they've pushed up. Yuki is in there with Dell. Oh my god.
That's cracked. Nasky.
Yeah, Frex just turned around onto him.
1v1 drops, knocking Yuki, and from what it seems like, a dominated win coming in from SSG. And we're going to the next round.
Yeah, and this is match point for SSG. If they take the win here, they take it all. They'll be walking away with $1,500 today. And so Qualix have to stay on their toes, and it doesn't look like Thermal right now is their map, as they're currently down 2-1. SSG have they've been aware of what a Qualix like to do. They're looking for that solo man. Frex instantly just turned around onto Nasky, who was trying to find that flank, and he punished him completely. And SSG once again gained their composure, heal up, fight out in that 3v2 advantage. And here we go. This could be the last round of the tournament. SSG map point.
Yeah, as we can see again, SSG waiting patiently. They're not trying to play for that zone because they kind of know that they can pick them off later. But Zenile in a pretty tight situation here. Dome is forced. He does get cracked, and from what it seems like, Frex is on a 1v1 against Nasky again. Be pushing a wingman. Nasky gonna be forced to slightly back up a bit, and yeah, I think it's what's been SSG doing is they've been kind of just waiting out, see if Acolyx is gonna make or gonna let them have an opportunity to push. And as we can see here, Nasky again as a solo player. Rex. Trump actually manages to finishes him. Nasky goes down as a solo, trying to get that off angle again. Frex trying to look for a thirst. It's gonna be Yuki and Serdell. Are they gonna be able to clutch this up? 2v3 situation here. Dropped, I think, still has a bubble down, so they can just wait it out. Dome goes down from Yuki. Another dome goes down from Drop. Zenile pushing in with the big evade shots. Knocks Yuki. And Frex in the 1v1 manages to crack Serdell. Serdell might be able to clutch up. Not going to be enough. SSG takes the championship.
Oh, man.
My God.
Gotta also love at the end there. Try to go for the melee finish as well. But yeah, GG's. SSG are the champions for Euriece's Arena Cup. They'll be walking away with $1,500. Qualix to secure $750, and then we also have our third place match going on right now, I believe. And so, what a way to finish it off. SSG versus Qualix. I was hoping this would go to map number 3, but SSG, like you said, Euriece, they had Nasky's number.
Yeah, they really just The communication and utilizing any sort of slight mistake that other team makes is, I think, what really won them that match right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 rounds in a row where they were able to isolate out Nasky for the first frag, and to finish things off. And so with that, SSG will take the 2-0 win over Qualix. They are the first arena champions here for the BFC arenas. Thank you so much, Euriece, for hosting all of this today. It's been really fun. Do you have any final words? What do you want to see out of more of these arenas and stuff?
First of all, thank you as well for coming in, dude. Being a co-caster, I'm the co-caster. Let's be honest, and I'm new to this casting thing, and it just felt so easy. You're actually just that good at casting. Thank you for casting as well. So yeah,
I had a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see a lot more of these meta kind of evolve throughout. Whenever more tournaments happen, people get practice onto higher levels of gameplay. I'm excited to see how these gameplay evolve throughout the arena tournament life, I guess, like how it's gonna evolve throughout, because
Yeah,
we know that rank is coming, right? And
Yeah.
it's they're definitely gonna change some things for that. So
Yeah, keep an eye out on that, guys. And if you guys want to compete in these tournaments yourselves, make sure you type in !qual. That's !QUAL. You can play in our qualifiers every week. We have $2,500 on the line here at BFC. And so you'll get your chance to get through the qualifiers, play against some of the best pros in Apex Legends arenas and in custom battle royale mode as well. So do that. Huge shout out to all of our sponsors. Never Alone, of course. Check them out. !Never Alone. They spread mental health awareness, which is super important. They have a lot of resources to provide, so check them out. And Shaka Wear, clothing line based in LA, streetwear, and of course they're the partners with Congarna, the ALGS jersey collab. BFC20, that's the code you want to use on their site if you want 20% off. And last shout out is going to be Esports Tower, !Tower, which connects esports players with colleges, provides scholarships, and allows these players to both try to be a pro and be a college student at the same time, which I think is super important. So check out Esports Tower. But that's going to do it for us. We're going to be rating his and hers live, who are our other partners for our other tournaments as well. So go ahead and check them out. But that's going to do it for us. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week.
Yep.
Closing in on their final kill. They played it slow. They played.
Oh, Vayne on 1 HP, but they seem to clutch it for the second time in a row. And I wonder if this is going to push Underrated to a different drop spot next game.
Actually might be in a little bit of trouble because they've got MSP closing in on them from behind. I don't know if they know it yet.